Hello guys, welcome back. It's Jed and I'm joined again by Al, who's got plenty of evidence of the curve. Evidence, not proof, just evidence, guys. And Al travelled to Ayrshire today to look at the Ailey Craig Island. So he's got loads of videos and images that you guys might be interested in. He's going to be with us in just a minute, guys, so just bear with us. I'll have a quick look in chat, see who's all going to join us. This stuff's valuable to Flat Earth, guys, come on. Right, so we're just waiting. Nobody in chat yet. So it's exciting times, guys. More evidence coming for Jed. Well, not me, but Al. I'm just giving him the platform to show everybody his hard work. Because the guy's on a mission. He's on a mission. I listened to Dell tonight. I thought his statement about going into schools was a bit strong. I don't think children should be involved with this psyop, because it's a psyop. Even if you guys thought Flat Earth was true, this is a fucking psyop. Either way, lots of weirdos in it. Why would you want your kids involved in this? Come on, let's get real here, guys. But there's still some good stuff coming out, and I think Al, he's just going to stack up enough. It's going to convince Dell will be convinced after Al's finished up, I think. I really do. So I hope you're having a good weekend anyway. I didn't really know. Let's see. Still nobody in the chat. What's going on? What's going on, guys? I spoke to Ali B last night. Hey, it's Al. Al's back. All right, Al. How you doing, mate?
Hello. How are you?
I'm fine,
Having
man.
a good night.
Fine. I am just sinking a few bottles, and I'm getting excited like a wee kid, waiting for your. Waiting for your, I don't care why. But I just get excited when I hear about new evidence to prove the contrary of Flat Earth nowadays, because it's just so annoying. It's just there's so much. Actually, there's so lack of evidence coming from either side. It's just refreshing to see somebody like yourself doing something, because this is what Flat Earth started off, like people doing shit like what you're doing right now, but it seemed to have stopped. But you've kind of picked it up again, so it's good, man. And like I said, I'm excited, man.
That's the thing. No, that's what I see about it, and it's what I've seen for a long time. Is that people like to talk a lot of shit all the time, but they don't really go out and do anything. You know, and even if there was any truth to this stuff, you can't just say it and say, "Well, that's enough." You have to go out and prove it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
oh, you're a man of action, though, eh?
I think maybe you should have changed the title to this to Spaz Attack Imminent, to be honest.
No, I was gonna put Spaz Attack Imminent. Shed Rage Imminent. So what have you been up to today? Was it the day you got the images, eh?
Aye, so basically, I just jumped in.
Tell us about your morning and your day in general before we look at the images. Like, what was it? You got on and brushed your teeth, thought, I'll destroy the Flat Earth today. Went for our jog. Went for a jog to Rocky music. Fucking got your P900. Fucking drove away to the islands.
Greased up my fist and put the sonic ring on and all that shit.
You put them in glass. And can't do that. So I take it you just drove it to, where is it, the west coast?
Yes, down to the Ayrshire coast, basically. Because it's where, you know, somebody I know lives down there, and so I was going down to see them and thought, well, while I'm there, I had a future observation planned, and I'll do a wee bit of wrecking to you know, see how it goes with the P900, see what I can see, figure out where I'm going to stand, and you know, just a wee bit of prior planning for this other thing that I want to do, using that area, because I noticed a few months back that it was a good place to go for some observations.
And what were the conditions like?
Well, initially the weather was shitty. You'll see that actually in some of the photos. It's quite kind of overcast and stuff like that. But in general, there was really good, clear sight across the water. Like at first, it was a bit of a mix. Hard to explain. I don't know how often you've been down to Arran, right? But Arran's one of these places where it's an awesome place to get images of crepuscular rays, funnily enough, because there's always quite a lot of cloud cover over it and stuff like that. So you get this quite dramatic looking landscape, and it maybe looks a bit overcast, but you can still see for miles. You know what I mean? So it'll look dark and broody kind of thing. And that's the way it was today. It was quite a wee bit windy and stuff, but generally good seeing conditions. At first, a bit hazy with the way the sun was in front of your face and stuff like that, but then it cleared up more. And you'll see that, you know, as I go through the photos, and you can just, what was interesting, mate, is it was cold.
I was going to just say that, man. I was just going to say that. So it would have been cooler today, because the past couple of days it's got that jumper weather. Look, I've got the turtleneck back on, man. It's like fucking, it's getting chilly again. So the sea, you wouldn't have had that haze coming off the top of the sea as much.
That's exactly it. You know, just like last week, there was the huge band, atmospheric interference, or whatever you want to call it.
Well, Ali called it electromagnetic flux lines. We are capacitor insulator that makes the fields create an illusion.
All right. How does that work? The Masons built tunnels under the fucking sea. You know, is that where the real LIGO is located? Is in the North Irish Sea?
It's full of shit, man. It's full of shit.
But aye, it was the complete opposite. Basically, it was nice and cold. You could see, like, when you're looking at the horizon, that's all you were seeing. Horizon, and then whatever was on the water. No, none of this light bending shit. You know, no mirroring, anything like that. So it was good for that. Very good for that. But basically, it was, as I say, it was just in there for a bit of wrecking, and it just turned out that there was a few vessels hitting the water at just the right kind of time for me to get some interesting wee pictures to share with people. So if you want to have a wee look at some stuff,
definitely we'll get started. And
what day is?
Maybe we'll start. Well, can you start off with something a bit more dramatic? Because the last time with the nighttime one, I think that got them off there.
No.
Like, we'll just start with one that'll blow them away, and then they can just shut the fuck up all the way through our presentation. I
was going to do it logically and show you where I was standing and shit like that.
Because you showed us it back to front, you showed us nighttime ones first, so I got them off there.
I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, I mean,
it's not going to be back to front, but the first image will not be interesting, but it'll, we'll start with just kind of showing us where the location is, so people know what the fuck I'm talking about, I think.
Right, well, I'm clicking on you. You've got the window, man. So just present away and we'll have a look.
Let's see if this thing will work. Okay, so if it's working, you should be able to see Google Earth.
Yep, we see it, mate.
Right, okay. So basically, this is going to be the first position, roughly, where I was standing. It's just near Porton Cross.
Yep.
And, you just basically park up in there, in this wee car park, and then you can walk across the rocks and stuff like that. And we kind of roughly, we were somewhere around about here taking photographs. Okay.
Right. So how high, what altitude is that above the sea level, do you reckon?
Mate, that's actually something I've no done. I was so concerned with getting the rough locations all queued up for people. I never done an elevation profile on this or anything like that.
I think we should start doing maybe the elevations. Even if you just find out where you're standing on that edge, Google Earth will tell you how high you're.
Aye, what the fuck is that? What actually?
I think is it the fourth? There's one where you can do a marker and find out the elevation at the sidebar. I've not used a lot of Google Earth.
Oh, I've got you. So I've got to kind of go through that shit.
You've got to go and. Is it? But there is an option where you can find the altitude or how high you are for sea level. But like I said, I've not used it that much, to be honest with you.
Where's the fucking camera position one? Why is it not showing up? Where are we? There it is there, fuck. How do you do that again? I honestly can't remember. Is it one of these? I say I don't use Google Earth Pro very much, to be honest. So
we'll find it. Do you know what? We know where you were roughly, so we can find that out at a later date. We just know where you're standing, where you're looking. That's good enough for now.
God damn it! I hate this thing. Anyway, right. So never mind that shit. You had to throw something in, didn't you? You had to fuck me. Anyway.
Well, you know this is what the flat earthers are going to say, mate. Yeah, they're going to say, ooh.
Well, the thing is, as you say, you can do this in Google Earth. So if I show you where I'm standing, no excuses. You can go and do it yourself and find the elevation.
Exactly. So we know where you're standing.
So you can see I'm roughly standing here. I can obviously make this more accurate later because I've obviously got the GPS coordinates when the camera and all that. And then if you notice this building's back here, right? Up, behind the road, obviously there's this building here. So just to confirm that, if you give me a wee sec, I'll show you that. Let's see. You see that?
Oh, I
should be sharing Photoshop.
I can see it, mate. Right.
So that was me looking behind me where I was located. And
cool.
Literally just did that to show where I was standing. Do you know what I mean?
And there's what's that? It's like a mound behind the houses there, like some kind of hill. Just behind the.
Basically, this is as I say, this is a wee place called Porton Cross. It's like a wee dead endy kind of road. There's a wee castle, a ruined castle off to the left there.
But you can figure out exactly where you're standing just by that photograph. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
If flat earthers are looking at this, they can figure out where exactly you're standing here.
Exactly.
On Google Earth.
Easy enough.
Yep.
If I switch to Google Earth, does it switch for you, mate? Or do I have to go back and tell it? Can you see that? Can you see Google Earth?
I'm looking at this photograph still.
Right.
Cottage. I think you need to go out of
this thing.
Sort of back and forth.
No bother. Oh.
It's cool, man. You'll get used to it eventually, mate. How about we look in the chat?
Right, can you see it now?
Aye. Camera position 1. See you.
No. Just had a wee look there. Nice picture of the moon. I took that the other night. It was a full moon the other night. I went out and took a good few photos and stuff. It's not that one. Not that one, but I did do it. Anyway, right. So this is camera position 1. I've just showed you where I was standing, confirmed it with that building. Right?
Yep.
So say, park there, walk over the rocks. And if we zoom out, just to give you a general location here. So this is looking down towards Ardrossan. And you're right across from Arran over here, right? And then if we go this way, this is the Clyde coming out past Greenock through here.
That's Paisley. That's where I can see a shed for you, mate.
Right. And then heading down this way, because this is your lines of sight, Ailsa Craig's down here.
Aye.
Which is the wee place. Remember you put up a video a few months back of somebody doing some observations from over sort of Girvan side?
Yep.
And it was, looking at it from so high up and then walking down to the water and looking at it.
Yep.
And that was because they were looking at this. And then in that video that you showed, there's Ailsa Craig lighthouses here, and you could see a part of it when they were at higher elevation, and then it disappeared when they were at the lower elevation.
Yep.
Okay. So it's just that I wasn't really looking for that today, but there's a wee bit of that in here in the photos, so I'll just.
So how far away is
point
this?
That out there.
So how far away is this?
So to Ailsa Craig from up here is about 32 miles ish.
32 miles.
I'm saying ish because I don't have a line drawn from position 1, but there's no much in it when you move between the two. Do you know what I mean?
Well, we can always do this afterwards, mate. We can always do this afterwards. We're just looking at the meat. We'll just look at the meat of what you've got, and then we can always scrutinise it afterwards.
So in general, anyway, I think you're talking approximately about 19, 20 miles-ish to this point, and about 32 miles to this point.
Right.
Okay, just to give you a general gist of what you're talking about as far as the layout. So basically I was just in here taking some photographs just for the sake of it, just checking out the lay of the land and stuff like that. And if I go back to Photoshop, I'll show you
It's a beautiful part of the country though, the west side. Oh, you've just shared the
There's some nice bits there. Oh shit, really? Hold on. See, I did that a minute ago and it never done that. That's fucked up. How's that? It might be too late now if you're bothered with anybody.
Back to your moon, mate.
Right, cool.
Hey, it's only Tim that can snipe us, man, and he's a buddy.
Right, so we back in Photoshop, okay?
Aye, it's cool, mate.
Right, so this is just a general view of the water, and just so you know, it's uneven ground there, and it was windy, so a lot of these photos there aren't fucking perfectly level. Okay, it was like the camera's battering about, and I'm just taking snapshots while it's moving, sort of thing. So
far away, you can see it's going, and there's a slight gradient.
So you're kind of looking towards Arran here, but the wee bit in front here, this is actually an island, Holy Island, which I should really have shown you there in Pro.
I've seen it.
Would you like to see that in Pro, or I mean, even if you want to see it, I'll quickly snap back to it, or we can just continue.
One minute, just to show us.
Right. See this fucking stopping starting with the sharing? It's a wee bit of a pain, isn't it?
It is, man. It is.
Be better if you could just switch between.
Just one of these things, mate. Just one of these things you have to work around there. Like, I could do this. Aye, right. We're looking back at the Google Earth. Cool.
Right, I forgot to do that. I should have done that first. So that's that here, right? So this is your line here. Right, so that's Holy Island, right? Also, actually, while I'm here, I might as well do this. So, can you see this wee feature here?
What?
See it?
What is it?
Right, it's unfortunately because there's no road there, you won't get an actual photograph of it. Right, but it's like a wee kind of lighthouse type building, right, on Holy Island. Just bear it in mind because we'll see that in one of the photos. All right.
Right.
And it'll just help. Once we're looking at the photos here, it'll just help you understand better what you're looking at.
Right.
So we with that? Aye, that all good?
Aye, that's cool, mate. That's cool.
Aye. And this line, this was just generally to mark towards the kind of tip of the island, in terms of line of sight. It's no in specific, but it's just to show you the end of this. Okay.
Right.
So, right. So I'll head back to Photoshop. Right, just let us know we're good.
Aye, we can see Holy Island again. Is that what it's called?
Aye.
Cool.
Right, so as I say, it was just in there. I was just generally taking some snapshots and stuff, and I was getting a wee feel for like how far I could zoom with the P900 and all that shit. A wee bit of scouting, if you like. So that's just to give you a general idea. Now that you've looked at Pro, you know roughly where we're looking.
Right.
So this is another way just to locate yourself in the area. This is a wee bit Horseshoe Island, and that's down towards Ardrossan.
Right.
Okay, so if you were standing, it's like looking in the general direction, like in a southern kind of direction. So Ailsa Craig would be over slightly to your right, and Ardrossan would be on your left.
Right.
Right, and it's quite a well-known feature. If you're going out in the ferry to Arran and stuff like that, you'll see this. You'll pass by it.
Cool.
So it's just another wee thing just to help people understand the location, really. So, out in the water, we've got a wee ferry making its way across.
It's crazy, that white line. You can see sort of a white line on the horizon. You see that?
It's just the sunlight, mate. It's the water, but it's just the way the sunlight was bouncing off it.
It looks like an artificial white line can be put across the. Crazy. Oh, there we go.
Just,
I can see it now, what the
right.
white is. Aye, the shine, the glare.
Aye. And you can already see, like, with the particular distance that this is away, you can't quite see, you know, the bottom of the lettering's kind of dipping into the water a wee bit here. It's not quite. So just a general idea of what's going on. Wee bit of a better picture there, so you can see it better, you know. I don't know, this thing isn't zooming in for me. I don't know why it's not doing it. So I'm just kind of seeing if... No, it's not doing it. Right. Anyway, it's not zooming in. I don't know why the fuck it's not zooming in, but it isn't.
Try Control Plus.
Wait a minute.
Command Plus.
There we go.
Plus.
Right, there we go. Right. So just again, right. So it's getting... This is about... I was checking it earlier. This is like a good few minutes later. It's not just like I've taken two shotties in quick succession. So the boat is getting closer in terms of the distance away from me because it's heading over to Ardrossan, right? So you can see the lettering's out the water. There's a gap between the lettering and the water, all right?
Aye, there's you can see quite a big gap.
Aye, just to point that out.
Quite noticeable, aye.
Aye. So this was just some random person in a yacht, right? And I've just decided to take a wee photo of him. But
practically see all the yacht there apart from Ken. That's not behind.
He's close, right?
You can see him. He's close.
Close.
He's close. Yeah.
But I've not had the time to check specific. But this is almost looking directly across from us. So this is the point where we'd expect Aaron to be the closest to us, right?
Right.
So we would expect to see more of this, and it still looks to me like there's some bits just sticking up above the water rather than being visible. You know. But I've no bothered with this, but I'll do it at some point. It's to track down that building. Say that again, sorry?
That cloud in the background, like just cloud.
It's just a bit hazy looking.
Aye.
It's no cloud, no, it's just, you know, a combination of it was a wee bit kind of, as I say, it was a bit overcast in that. And the way I've got this focus in the foreground, you know.
It's a good photo.
But as I say, it's a wee bit fuzzy in the background, but you can obviously see there's like a house or something there.
Aye.
But to me, I know it's hard to say, but to me, it doesn't look like you're seeing the full thing, and it looks like there's wee bits sticking up above. You see that? There's like
really? Then if it's going to be a house, it looks like just the roof.
But anyway, it was just a wee thing I noticed, so I thought I'd include this photo. But you know, as I say, it's just so you can see how close Aaron is, and the fact that you can see the houses, so you can see fairly low down on it, even if you can't see all the way down.
Aye.
So it's just a frame of reference kind of thing, right?
Aye, good stuff.
So then swinging over more to my right here again, and so it's like I'm working my way around as if I'm going to start pointing up the way towards like the Clyde that I pointed at, you know that, right? These guys were out in their boat, right? And then this was just, you can't, it's hard to, hold on, I'll see if I can zoom in for you. This is why I did this, I think.
Nice. That's a nice bit. That's dramatic, that one, eh?
Aye. Oh, it's not the one I thought it was, actually. But anyway, so he's coming out in the water. Very nice looking and everything, right?
Oh, aye.
I think I'm forgetting sometimes, you know, because there's that many photos, you forget about all of them, right? Aye, so just kind of showing you him coming out. This is a different guy, you know the same one that I showed you a minute ago. That's it, right. So now this is the important photo. This is where it will start getting interesting, okay? So if you watch me zooming in, there's the guys in their boat. You see that?
That boat now, aye.
Right. Now, if I switch back out, you look to the right.
There's a...
See this?
Cargo ship. Is that a cargo
ship? So you can see, you know, so that's just to give you an overall view, right? So he's coming out from the Greenock end. He's come round the, you know, from Greenock and come out through here. He's going to make his way, you know, across. So that was just to give you, you know, it's for location, so you know where we're looking. All right. This guy's just made his first appearance. So just started concentrating on him a wee bit. I'll no bother zooming in and that because obviously I've got better photos, right? So there he is. The Ramira.
Oh, aye.
Quite a big boat. All right. Now, before I start showing you more photos or too many more photos, I will show you some other stuff, but just a wee second, right? So I've zoomed in on it, obviously, to get better, features of it.
Huh?
One of the things I want to point out before I switch over is, see this? Somebody can correct me on this because I'm by no means an expert, but I believe this represents the draft line on the boat. Okay. And also you can see the measurements up the side here. Unfortunately, not well enough to actually read the numbers.
I know, but I can get this.
But there's obviously a certain limit where it's meant to kind of go below the water, but you can see a lot of the keel or whatever, sticking out the water at this point. Okay.
Cool.
So just general pictures of the thing, working away, just worked my way along it and got some photos of it.
Aye.
Just a wee bit of a zoomed in one. So I don't know what the overall height of the thing is, mate. I've managed to find some information on it, which is what I'm just about to switch to. But what I'm finding is that most of the information tells you the width of it, the length of it, and the only height I've got is too small. So I think it's measuring the height to here and no telling you the height of the bridge. All right.
Right.
I'll show you that. I'll quit away from this for a wee second, and I'll show you what this other stuff.
Good stuff so far, man. Good stuff so far. I appreciate you doing this. I think Flat Earth appreciate you doing this as well, mate, because who really is doing this in the Flat Earth? You know what I mean? So we're appreciating what you're doing here, mate. It's good, and you're doing it in your own pocket. You know what I mean?
Aye, well, it's got to be done.
Aye, it's got to be done.
Sorry, I'm a bit. What the hell?
How about we look at chat while you get ready, man? And there's D-Truth. Hey, D-Truth, what you doing?
I'm just having a wee look at. I've got it up. I'm having a wee look at chat myself.
Cat Earth, what you doing, Cat Earth? That Cat Earth guy, man, he's starting to really grow on me. You kind of freaked me out with this kind of the cat thing, the animation. I fucking didn't like it.
The freaky cat animation is brilliant, actually.
Oh no, I didn't like it, man. It's like a puppet. It's like somebody sitting there back with a hand. It's like fuck off. I prefer just.
No, I actually thought I liked the animation, but I thought he was a bit of a dick. I'm only kidding.
Nah, he seems a really nice guy, man. He's starting to grow me, like a genital what. I'm not going to go down that side of things because I'm no Del. I'm not going to start talking
about sexual organs. Fucking wizard sleeves before.
Wizard sleeves and ball bags and fucking other testicles. Right, what are we looking at, mate?
Right, so obviously I looked up the ship. So here she is, the Ramira.
Oh, aye.
Okay.
Swedish.
This is our current. Yep. This is our current position at sea. Right.
Nice.
And this is where she's come from today. Round from this way.
Is this live?
This is where. Yeah, that's live tracking.
Ah, you can actually see the moving stuff.
If I do that, it shows you our line.
Nice.
Coming out. Nice. So I've taken the first photo when she's been coming out between here.
Yep, we've seen that.
And then obviously I'm going to show you more photos as she's kind of travelling across in front of Holy Island and Arran and working her way around between that Sailsa Craig there, a wee dot. So this shows your path.
This is a route that probably all of them take because you can see the other boats, they're on the same trail, eh?
Basically, if you zoom out, which I'm not going to do here, but you see it's working its way around, right up around the north and over towards Scandinavia. As I say, there's some information on the boat. This isn't the best site for it. I've got a couple of sites, but the way I have to work it, I have to do. So hold on. Can you see this one?
Yep.
I've just switched tabs. Can you see it? Okay.
I can see it, mate.
Aye.
Aye.
Right. So again, another different picture. If I just close that down, it should give me this, right? So this one, if I can remember how it did it, actually, it's no doing it. It had a different version of the tracking. I don't know if there's. I don't know the site well. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know if there's a different way. Let me just see what happens if I do this. Just give me a wee second, because there you go, the Ramira.
Aye.
Right.
12 knots.
Yeah. Oh, that's what it is. I've put that thing away and I needed it, right? So there we go. Now, the cool thing about this site is you can hover over these and you can see the information at each wee stage, and it gives you the time that it checked in,
the speed,
the information, and UTC. So I'll not go into this detail now, but the point is, obviously, in my photographs, you've got the date, you've got the time, and you've got the GPS location where I'm standing. So any one of these photographs that I've taken, you can compare the photograph I've taken when I took it to the position of the boat in the water at the time.
So what does 12 knots, 180 degrees do you mean? Does that mean it's traveling at 12 knots and 180 degrees is just south? Because that's half a second.
Aye, exactly. And that's one of the reasons I really like this, because see in the later photographs that I'm going to show you, you'll be able to see the change in turn. So initially it's cutting across me. I like going to my left,
degree change,
going to the right and head round.
Yeah,
and that's important because it gives you a better idea how far out in the water it is when I'm taking the photographs.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice. Yep.
With me, everybody with me.
I think everybody's following. You're being a bit more meticulous this time, mate.
Just a wee bit to, make sure people understand what we're looking at.
Aye, it's good. It's all good.
Right, so with all that information, I think it should be fair enough to understand what's going on in the photographs now. All right.
Right.
If anybody hasn't been looking at these addresses, you can, if you even just search for the vessel Ramira, you'll get a list of sites finding it. But this one, marinetraffic.com, is the best one for getting this information. And if you zoom in, those wee segments will increase, and you can look at it more and more stages.
That's a handy wee site, you didn't think for us,
it's amazing actually.
It's good, you didn't think we'd be using something like this. But
the other thing about it is a bit like Google Earth and stuff like that. As you move your cursor around up in the right hand corner, it tells you the GPS or whatever your cursor is.
Yep.
So it's a good way of locating something on a map. You know what I mean?
Aye.
Right, so just let me switch back to Photoshop, right, and we'll get to the good stuff.
No bother. Timmy Osmond's in the chat. I think he's at a sports game of some sort.
A game?
Aye. Is it college football? Aye, college football. Huskers. Who the fuck's a Huskers, man? Cat Earth. I'm English. I don't know the Huskers. Even I think he's at the game with IPS.
What? I don't even want to fucking go there, man.
I'm only kidding.
Aye, but it's weirder shit's happened, so it's really hard to tell. Hello, Laurie. How are you?
With the usual suspects, mate.
Right, just let me know when you want to carry on, matey.
When you go, mate. When you go. I was just saying hi.
Right, so we've got an idea of the ship. Actually, listen, anybody can go and look at this, as I said, but you can check the dimensions of the ship. And it says, this is the part that's what I was talking about, where I don't think it's giving its full height at the bridge. It says it's 22 meters wide, I think it says, right? Mm-hmm. It's like 140 meters long and 22 meters wide or something like that. But for height, it says 12.5 meters or something. So there's no way that measures right up to the top of that bridge.
No.
Just no way.
No.
So that to me is the general height of the length of the boat, but you're going to double that and a bit more for the total height of the bridge. So I'm saying it's about somewhere in the region of 25 to 30 meters high at the bridge, but it's an estimate based on looking at the rest of the boat.
Well, how many feet is 12.5 meters? There's about 2 meters and it's
about 30 odd feet. Aye, so it's 30 odd feet anyway.
Aye.
So it's just obviously it's going to be important if you're looking at something that's hitting the horizon and being obscured. You want a general idea. So I have tried to find the height yet. I've not succeeded, but it's because when you go into all these sites, it gives you some basic information, and then when you want more information, you need to be registered with them. So, so I've not done that, obviously. Right. So moving on.
At the end of the day, you could always get the
Yeah,
ship and superimpose an image over it, like the full size of the ship, see how much is missing.
Well, this is why I was pointing out the part where it's been painted, and what I was saying I think is the draft line, because you can see when it's coming out into the you know, when I get the first shot of it close up, you can see that you can actually see well below the draft line. Anyway, that was just another wee quick shot to show that's Ardrossan with a Caledonian McBrain ferry parked up in it. You know,
nice,
just for location purposes. So this is the Ramira out on the water. This is at the point where, as I say, the sun was in front of us and it was bouncing off the water. It's no affecting the horizon line. It's just making it very kind of contrasty.
Have you noticed that the sun's been really like low? Like the roads have been like this lately. Can that blinding white light?
It's winter for you, mate.
What time was this about in the day?
I think round about 3-ish, and you know, somewhere between 3 and 4-ish. I'd need to double check the time zone, but it's roughly around about then.
Cool.
So this is, you know, just pictures of the boat heading out into the water. Obviously, you can see some features behind there. It's starting to go in front of like Holy Island and Arran's behind there and stuff like that. Anyway, I'll just move forward.
And just to let the viewers know that this is the P900 you're using, eh?
Aye, that's right.
The P900.
So this is just a general shot to show. It's hard to see, but it's obviously I know what's in it. So you can see this wee guy. Oh shit! I keep doing the wrong thing. This. So you can see this wee guy to the right, and that's the Ramira there. Okay. If everybody, I don't know if everybody can see that, but
you're
just, you know,
displaying to everybody, mate. Everyone's seen this.
Nice one, right? So this is starting to move over. That's the Ramira there. I can see it. It's probably harder for people to see when it's being streamed, but it's just visible, you know.
Well, I'm looking at it on the stream live, and it looks fine, mate. It's the same as what we're seeing.
Right. So it's just some general pictures to keep you right, you know, as you move through. So that was the yacht, and there you can see the Ramira here. I notice here I've got a smudge in my lens.
Is that what that is? I thought that was like something in the distance.
It's a smudge in my lens.
I thought that was maybe a skyscraper in the distance, and only the top of it showing.
So this. So you can see like the way these two are moving across the water. That this is, you know, they've moved across in front of the island. This is starting to prod out, and the yacht's kind of following the same basic sort of trajectory across the water, I feel like.
Aye.
And nicer picture right there.
Yep. You can see.
And just
the yachts in the foreground and that large ship.
You remember I pointed out that feature on Holy Island?
Aye.
Fuck's sake, stop that. Here it is there.
I can just see a sort of whitish smudge.
Just here. That's what it was, but that's what I was pointing at. The wee lighthousey kind of thing. All right?
Right, cool.
As I say, it's just to, you know, so anybody watching it, you know, can get a good idea of the locations that we're looking at. You know what I mean?
It's that yacht there is really clear in that photograph.
Aye. So this is, even if you look right, so temporarily take this and zoom in it manually. See this fucking thing? Doesn't it? You think it's going to? You can already see that everything that we could see when it was back, when I first took pictures of it, you know, you could see well below that white line. The whole of that part of the keel of the boat or whatever is gone.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yep, or that white line that went across the centre of the bottom of the boat. Yep, it's gone completely.
Can't you see it? Right, there's the yacht. I don't know if you can see that wee thing any better if we'll zoom in. You see it now?
Aye. It's just in the background. Aye. It looks. You can see it better this time. Aye.
Right. So we know that's definitely Holy Island. Know that? Okay.
Aye.
Right. You see what I mean about these two? They're following a similar sort of path. So the yacht's quite a good thing. You know, I made a point of getting it in the shot quite a lot as it moved across the water.
Mm-hmm.
Starting to move it. So it's a bit further out. Again, less visible above the water.
Oh, aye, definitely. It's just it's like quicksand, it's just sinking, just sinking further and further. It's looking like tinier.
This is the bit where Ali B and Chris will be going, small, far away. Yeah.
That's a good shot to
But
get.
as I say, it's always good to get something in the foreground, especially if it's roughly on the horizon.
Yep.
To compare to something that's beyond the horizon, especially when there's something beyond the horizon is fucking massive compared to this.
How would this look
on
a flat Earth, mate? How see this scene right here, right now? How would this look on a fucking flat Earth?
Well, see, the distance between these would obviously decrease the angular resolution, but the water, everything should ramp up to the center, so to speak, because of the way perspective works.
Yeah.
Equally, nothing will disappear behind whatever the center point is. You wouldn't have that the thing in the background wouldn't sink below it. It would just grow smaller.
Yep. You're
so
right.
Everything would be on the same level in the water, which is obviously what you're seeing there. You can see that this is like above invisible sort of thing.
That's beyond the horizon, the big boat.
Aye. So although the boat is decreased in angular size, you still know the general dimensions of that boat, as I was saying, and the draft line. I can't remember. I need to look it up, but just as I say, it's reported the height of the thing is like 12.5 meters or something. So the draft line is just say something like 6 meters. It is there. It's on the sites. I'm just throwing a random number just because I can't remember the exact number. But the point is, it's obviously a few meters. It's not just a fucking couple of feet, and that yacht is nowhere near the amount on, if you look back at those pictures and look at the size of the wee guys in the boat compared to that ship when it's behind them, you can see that draft line and you can see the keel. You can see how much a massive difference there is, even though the boat is behind them, so it's further away, right? So you can see that like just how much a difference there is in the size of the two, and yet that entire portion is completely below the horizon here.
Yep.
There's no way the yacht compares in size to how much of that boat is missing.
Can you command plus and try and zoom in a bit more to that yacht?
Aye.
Keep your finger on command and plus. Aye. Get a wee bit closer. Look at that! Look at that! It almost looks like there are waves they're on. It looks like they're sitting on a wave. It's crazy, man. Because it's so because the background object, the big boat, is so obstructed. It almost looks like they're riding on a tsunami. the small yacht in the foreground. It's crazy. Nice picture though.
The thing about it is as we pointed out earlier, mate, there's no refraction here.
No, there's nothing. Look, you can see right to the right. You can see that large boat in the background going right to the horizon, and there's nothing. There's no smudge, and there's no mirroring. There's nothing, mate. This is the perfect condition.
Nothing like that at all. It's very good scene conditions, actually. Yep. So again, now it's passed by. We've got Jesus, see this fucking, the wee birds in the foreground, which are a helpful thing to just confirm what we just said about there's no mirroring or anything like that, although you can see that by the shape of the thing. There's none of that weird atmospheric shit going on. So you can see it, very well in that photograph, I think. There's much more of the boat missing.
Oh my god!
This is the top of it here. At the back end, that's the top. You know what I mean? And if you look back at the previous footage, you could see, the arse end of the boat basically up to the draft line. So.
If this was flat Earth, that boat's sinking. It's doomed. But on a ball Earth, that's just hidden behind a fucking curve. But if this was flat Earth, that boat is fucked. Get SOS calls because that's going down. You know what I mean? It's sinking.
So now we've got another wonderfully timed object that helped us out with the observation here. So this is the ferry heading back over to Arran. And I haven't looked up the dimensions of these ferries, something that can maybe do later, and other people can do it if they're interested.
It's huge.
But
the Caledonian the McBrain ones are huge.
Aye, but I think it's fair to assume this lettering obviously isn't at the bottom of it. There's so much, like a certain portion of it will be below and all that kind of stuff.
It has to
but
be.
It's generally, again,
I think it's like
you can kind of see it's just very, like, as far as the eye sees, it's like just behind the horizon. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So it's near the horizon in terms of, you know, the distance from you.
Yep.
And then
you clearly see the whole name, the Caledonia McBrain. You can see the whole lot clearly.
Right. So here's your wee yacht that's already passed by. There's your ferry heading out, and this is Ailsa Craig in the background.
The background.
Aye. See it? It's a bit hazy, but you can see it.
Silhouette.
Right. Now that's them crossing each other. Again, just a wee bit of comparison. You know.
Oh aye. Oh aye. Well, you can see the yacht has got hardly any, like, it's hardly sunk at all. And
aye, you can see the whole yacht, and it's on the horizon essentially. Yep. The ferry's obviously a good bit further back.
Like I said, it looks like it's on the top of a wave. Crazy, man.
Right.
Nice.
And now we've got location in relation to our.
Oh, it's beautiful. That's fucking beautiful. Oh my god.
Look at that.
Oh right. My god. For fuck's sake.
Is that not a wonderful photograph, my friend?
Oh my god, mate. If this is flat out, that boat's sinking, you should be phoning the fucking lifeguard because there's people going to die. But it's not. It's a fucking ball, and it's,
look at the difference in that.
Oh my god!
Ferry is basically in line with the bridge.
I can't believe there's flat earthers out there, man. This is unreal. This is similar again to like kind of like Soundly stuff and Matrix guy, but in your stuff again, but you just keep pulling out the hat because it's all different stuff. And you've got all different, like the wind turbines, you've got the yachts, the islands, landmarks that don't move ever. So this is really good, Alan, man. I'm so glad you chose my channel to bring this shit to. I'm just happy, mate. Happy, good stuff.
Glad you're into it and you want to share it.
Definitely, man. Definitely. I could sit here for hours, man. I could sit here till at least 3 o'clock, man, looking at this shit. If you've got.
It was good stuff to get today, you know. It was excellent stuff.
Oh, it's brilliant, mate. That picture there is the best I've seen so far. It's the most obvious. It's the most fucking obvious. Oh my.
There you go.
Oh my god. Oh, for fuck's sake.
And there's no atmospheric fucking refraction here, my friend.
You can actually even see in between the ships, you can see there's something just above the wave. You can see, kind of, it's like if there was atmospheric refraction, all that would be blurred, and between that, those details between the two ships would be blurred. So it's fucking clear. It's clear. And same with the
nothing, and there's no mirroring. And it's really good, you know.
Oh my god, mate.
So it was, again, perfect timing with this ferry coming across. That's it passing by. That's the arse end of it, you know.
Wow. Aye.
And again, you can obviously find out the relative heights of these things and stuff.
And I'll say this again, I said it in the last one, it doesn't matter how much you zoom on this fucking boat, it's not going to come back. It's not going to reappear.
No, exactly. I mean, that's how I got the photographs in the first place, isn't it? So I've zoomed into it, and it doesn't make any difference.
No. Oh my god.
That's all you're getting. That's the only difference, is it changes in angular size. It's exactly like that.
Tsunami coming towards you, because that looks like a big rip curl wave heading towards you.
But that's just the shadow in the water.
It is, but it looks like a wave.
I know it's going to be one of these magical flat earth swells that only happen to appear whenever somebody's pointing a camera and sees something they think is curvature. You know,
electromagnetic
the fucking magical fairy tale swell that's got perfect fucking timing. Yeah.
Oh, nice picture.
Fucking hell.
Oh, I bet you were chuffed when you look back at that, mate.
Oh, very. It was an excellent day for this stuff.
Aye. And even if Alan, even if you didn't convince, this is what I'm trying to tell Ali, that at least you're doing it. You're actually giving yourself first-hand experience, which makes knowledge. He was trying to tell me knowledge is sitting fucking looking at YouTube videos. I was like, no, Ali, knowledge is going out and doing first-hand fucking experience. That's how you gain knowledge. You gain knowledge second-hand, but it's not as good as this. This is first-hand fucking knowledge, mate. You going and doing this shit. I mean, you can't beat it, really. by sitting on hangouts and can like bring up their evidence to on the contrary of this. You know what I mean? Like, if they've got criticisms, well, they provide the evidence that contradicts what we're looking at right now, but they can't fucking do it.
Well, that's it. They can't. Impossible. And even if there was any possibility, they're no fucking getting them after their arses and doing it. They're just talking, just sitting in their arses. You know, sitting on their couches, sitting in their sheds, sitting, you know, wherever in their fucking mother's basements, whatever it might be, and doing fuck all. So, where are we? So, where's the rest of the boat there, mate?
Oh my god, is it a boat?
You can only see the bridge, basically.
Aye,
so there's a nice photo. Here's a good one. We've got all theories back in shot. See the wee sailboat, you know. I say they're squinty because it was all jumping around like crazy, even though it was on a
this
tripod.
Still standing at that first location at Port? Where was it? The first location you were standing
at? Port and Cross.
Port and Cross, and this is still the images from that location.
Aye, it's all the same location.
Right. So you didn't move from that spot.
I did, but no yet. This is the first set of images, mate. It's no everything. It's the second set of images that really seal the deal, my friend.
I won't. No, I'm just letting the viewers know that, like, anyone that's like, maybe.
No, we're still at the same location. Don't worry.
Cool.
So nice. You know, you can only see the bridge and a wee bit of this kind of prominence at the front. So.
Can you command plus that and try and get a wee bit zoom?
Well, I've already zoomed in on this 40, and then
just like that. What's that wee bit? Is that, I take it that's a part of the boat as well that's sticking up on the left hand side of the.
Just at the front of the boat.
Is that like an aerial or something?
It's part of the like the rigging or whatever it is they've got on it. You know, like obviously I don't know everything that's got on the boat on the deck, but there's like cranes and things on it and stuff like that. So it's So you go back, to the original photo I had, you'd be able to see what it is.
Holy shit, man! That's
exactly
that's beyond the curve.
But there's nothing left at the bottom half of the boat at all. It's just the bridge.
Yep.
And it's pretty damn clear. You know what I mean? You can make it
beautiful, mate. It's beautiful.
Parts of it, so
beautiful. What's that sound, Al? I can hear that. Can you hear a banging sound? Oh, I can hear another nail going in the coffin. That's another nail in the coffin.
Right, so just while I'm here, right, I wanted to point this out.
The features.
I wasn't aiming for this, but this is Ailsa Craig, and you cannot see the area, including that lighthouse that we were talking about earlier.
Yep.
You know, it just dips away into the sea. You can't see any of that portion of it at all. Right? No.
But
so it's completely hidden.
The flat earthers are due. If they look at this, they're going to say that's too misty. It's too misty that you see anything.
Yeah, but if you know the layout of the thing, you'd know that if it wasn't short,
if you go by the contour of the actual the mountain.
Right, so same back in shot again together, and you know. Still well below.
Oh aye. Jesus, man. Like I said, that's like nailing the coffin stuff, mate.
That's fucking awesome, by the way.
It's
actually just
nailing the coffin.
It's interesting to see.
Some people will never accept this anyway, but to me, like, I think there's people can maybe still dabbling with the flat earth idea, and they need things like this just to push them one way or the other. You know what I mean? I think there still is a lot of people in the middle. Do you know what I mean? That are on the fence.
Aye.
They're not seeing evidence.
Well, there's a couple of things that I've said about this, and that, like, in general, most of the people that we know are in flat earth, and this, the prominent people that you always hear about are on the whole a bunch of fucking idiots that are just out for their own self-affirmation in life or some shit. They're trying to fucking, special snowflakes material, or they're con men or whatever it is.
Aye.
But somewhere in amongst it, there's some people who are actually genuinely asking questions. Yep. So those kind of people need to be looking at stuff like this. And then, most importantly, as I said to Soundly the other day, is there's always going to be new people that get dragged into it because they've maybe seen the stupid signs up in the motorway, or these arseholes are going out in the street talking shit to people, and the word spreads.
The way Dell starts every new kind of, the way he starts every hangout is like, if this is for the kind of, he repeats and repeats and repeats the same mantra because he knows there's new people coming in. So we can't act like that, like we're old timers and this kind of, and we still need to pick away.
No, that's the way I see. Just keep
still need to
presenting,
see it like
as
there's new
much
people
evidence as you
coming in.
can. You counteract all the push, and then that way, if somebody coming into it doesn't know and hasn't made up their mind, they can look at everything. And hopefully, if they see stuff like this, they'll go, no, you know, and they'll get dragged into it.
There's not enough of stuff like this. Kind of like,
look at that, mate. How do you explain only the top half of the bridge of a fucking oil tanker in comparison to this?
Maybe that's not an oil tanker. Maybe that's just a wee boat.
I know it's the oil tanker, mate.
I know, but that's what they'll say. They'll just make some shit up like it's CG or no, that's actually a boat. That's actually a wee boat.
And for anybody that missed it at the beginning of this hangout, by the way, the boat's been identified. It's called the Ramira, and you can look it up and you can get live tracking information on it and show its path.
You can even see the path it goes, and see the speed and the direction. You're kicking ass and taking names, mate. You're kicking ass and taking names. I need to go and get some of this shit as well because I've got a good camera there. Well, fuck off zoom, man. I need to get down to Portobello Beach, kind of Edinburgh, because there's good islands. There's Inchkeith Island, and it's similar to Ailsa Craig. It's one of these, and there's a island at Berwick as well that Gannets sit on. It's a bit like Ailsa Craig. It's a similar sort of island. I need to get some shots of that, man. Get down there with my tripod and do what you're doing.
Anything like that would be brilliant.
I might actually.
I'm going to be.
I'm
going to come through your way, mate. There's something I want to do through there.
I'm going to actually go down in the morning.
Say that again, sorry.
I'm going to go down. Kim, I'm going to do? Go down to Grant in the morning at Edinburgh at the beach and see the new bridge that's been built. The new Forth Bridge.
Mate, that's exactly what I was just about to say to you.
That's where I'm
going.
The
new one.
Aye, because
I want to go there to use it as an example of lens compression to explain why Lake Pontchartrain looks the way it does to the people that don't fucking understand it.
Well, I was at the coast. Well, I was at the Grant Edinburgh, and I couldn't see the bottom of the bridge when I looked over. So I thought this would be a perfect place to take my camera. So that's fucking nearly gone, eh?
Mate, have you reading the chat? Flat Earth Reset says if I'd zoomed in all the way with my P900.
Is that Flat Earth Reset?
Oh my god. Is that guy for fucking real?
I think he's working for IPS. He's one of these guys that's promoting IPS. It's like the fake troll.
Aye. Right, so there's a zoomed in shot with a P900.
How
much of that? Fucking 30-meter tall fucking ship are you seeing? Piss off.
Jesus, man. It's starting to just look like a canoe now with a big pole in the middle of it. You know what I mean? It just...
Right, mate, can you give me a wee second and I'll load up the next wee...
Right, well, I'm going to take a wee break to the toilet, mate. Can you just keep going with the show, man?
Sure. The only problem isn't he's going to see much because I'm going to be loading stuff up in the background.
I've given you responsibility. I know you can work this shit, so I'll be back in 5 minutes, right?
I love the confidence there.
Just keep everyone happy, mate. I trust you.
It's actually quite hard to read the chat and look at my computer screen at the same time because I'm looking at the chat on my phone. How's everybody doing in here anyway? I hope everybody's enjoying a wee bit of the curvature. So Flat Earth Reset, have you ever used a P900? You ever zoomed in on anything and brought it back over the horizon? I'd love to see that. Never happened. Right. Well, you can laugh out loud all you want, matey, but have you actually went out with a P900, found something that's over the horizon, not on it, but over the horizon, and zoomed it back over the horizon? Because you would be the first person in the entire history of optics to achieve that, my friend. Oh, that's just dodging the answer, innit? I know you don't need a P900.
Just interact with the chat, Ali. It'll be 5 minutes, mate.
You can always rely on a flat earther to dodge around and no answer the question directly. Because you are full of shit. Absolutely full of shit. Perspective. You don't know a fucking thing about perspective. I've done a test with binoculars. You're talking out your arse, mate. And if you really claim that you can do anything like that, then show the proof or be quiet about it. Because that's what you're all like. He's all talk shit about stuff that's impossible and you never show any evidence of it. And the few times you try, what you're showing doesn't prove what you're actually claiming.
Is that you still kicking ass and taking names?
Flat Earth Reset's talking a load of shit, basically.
I think Flat Earth Reset's working for IPS. I think it's maybe his dad or something. I'll just be a conspirator like the rest of them. So what they're saying in the chat? This is lame shit, laughable globetard stuff. Thanks for the laugh. I proved
laughable globetard stuff.
Oh my
Thanks for the laugh. I've proved it to myself. I'm not your fucking sheep. No, you're just a sheep for Flat Earth, you dumb bastard.
Yes. Well, what has Flat Earth Reset ever presented apart from IPS? Like
exactly. Just one of it. Well, that's why I said this to you the other day. The only thing that I've seen apart from that is he tried to talk to it. There's a YouTube channel called Warped Perception, and he's a guy that does loads of experiments, right? And he did a rocket in a vacuum experiment, and this clown went on, was arguing with him, saying that it was all nonsense and all that, you know, giving him a load of shit about it. But of course, it's the usual. Flat earthers don't have a clue about.
What's the point of starting your fucking videos every time, mate? This is copyright and fair use, and then he gets his channel shut down. And then he starts a new one. This is fair use, copyright, blah, blah, blah. He gives himself a fair use sort of fucking bit at the beginning, but he just gets shut down every time. It's like, what's the fucking point? You know what I mean? And this whole shit with him back and forth with IPS, it just seems to me like drama that they're deliberately producing drama. Yeah.
They got a bit much to appear to suddenly come from nowhere and just keep going on about one thing.
Aye. He's a fraud. That Flat Earth Reset guy's a fraud. To me, he is. So he can fuck off. Okay. Right. Bye. Right,
you drunken idiot. He's no fucking drunk now, and he's talking more sense than you are. And if you're sober, that doesn't say much for you. You're fucking.
The thing is, we can present this shit out our faces and still be right, because it's the truth. Because it's the truth.
Exactly. And we're sitting here actually presenting evidence right now. What are you doing? Talking shite.
And talking never changed the world, pal. Action changes the world. People like Alan that actually go off their arse and do stuff. That's how the world changes, you fucking idiot. You know what I mean? Right, on you go, mate. On you go. That's a beautiful picture, by the way. That's a beautiful picture.
It's quite nice, actually. So this was the new location. I should actually show you where the new location is first, rather than showing you this. But anyway, we'll show you. Right, so this is just a general shot showing that we're up higher and we're looking across at Holy Island again. That's just a completely different boat down there. And you can see that structure I was telling you about earlier there. See
all right. Can you command plus that a wee bit just for the viewers? All right, we're starting to see it. Is that a lighthouse?
Lighthousey type thing, aye. Obviously, the more I zoom in on this less definition, but you can see it's there. So again, we know our location. If you want, actually, I might as well be thorough since I've got it marked. Give me a wee sec, and I'll put that other.
For people like Flat Earth Reset, because these retards don't you have to be thorough with them. You have to be. You have to like pick every detail for them. It's a shame. It's a shame. I feel sorry for them in a way. It is. It must be like a learning disability of some sort. I don't know, man. Anyway, on you go.
Right, so we seen this Google Earth now.
Oh, aye.
Right, so this is where I've moved to. Okay, I'll zoom in.
So this is a new standing point.
It's a new location now.
Point.
So basically, the A78 runs along here. For anybody sort of familiar with the area, it's the road that leads into Largs. Okay. So you're coming back this way towards Saltcoats kind of direction,
yep.
And then you can come up here, up this wee road here,
and
into this location, and it's a more elevated position. Now I'll just zoom right into this for a second.
Yep.
And go into the view, because there's a road there, I can do that.
Nice.
See that?
Aye.
That's where my car was parked.
Right.
And that road just about here is where my camera was sitting, looking out over this stuff, okay? Google Earth and what you see it when you're standing there, you know, because you different height, if you like. So the field seems to block your view, and the Google Earth, it's not like that and when you're standing there, okay?
Right. Cool. Cool. So we've got a rough idea on Google Earth where you were standing. Cool. Nice.
Right, so just stop that. Fucking mouse disappeared there. Weird. Right, so now we know where we're looking from, all right, and we know based on the earlier photographs what we're looking at. Yeah. Right, so just there's not as many this time round. So this is looking out towards Ailsa Craig. This is a wee section of that horseshoe island I was mentioning earlier. It's got the wee tower on it. I showed you a picture of.
Aye, aye.
If I zoom in on this just now, you can already see that is our boat that we've been watching right there.
Right.
Okay.
So now you're obviously right. So
now from an elevated position.
You're more at an elevated position. How much higher do you think you went from the first place to the second place? I know you exactly. I know you probably won't know off by heart, but do you think roughly 10, 20 feet, maybe?
Because it's like a big slope down to the road. It's hard to estimate your height straight up and down. But an estimate,
like we said, we could always analyze
100 feet.
You showed us on Google Earth where you were standing, so we could always compare.
We can get the elevation later.
Yep.
That's it. Anybody watching this can look up and find out the elevation for themselves. Anyway, the point is, you can see even in this distance shot that the boat is now all visible again, and it's a shame Flat Earth Reset didn't hang around to see this. That the boat is visible without zooming in, and it's further away from me now.
So that's like the idea, like when the sunset goes down, you can go up to higher elevation and watch it again going down. You're doing the same with the boat. You're watching it going down, then you go to a higher elevation, and you're watching it go down again, sort of thing. You can see more of it when you go up to a higher elevation, which wouldn't work on a flat Earth. That's just impossible.
No, so it's just never happen. So you can, even this, again, it's still a bit of a distance shot, and you can still see you can practically see every bit of the boat, basically. Now a wee bit of a better one. See it? You can see the line that I was talking about right back at the beginning.
Yep. Oh, we can see the first location we were looking at. The last photographs we seen were just the top of the boat. We could just see the cabin practically.
It was about this much here from about here. Oh, this was missing.
Yep. The whole.
And when it starts off in the water, if you remember, I pointed out this line, which I think is the draft line, that even if it isn't, it's a visible line, and it's just above like the main keel of the boat. Now, explain to me again how that proves how much of that boat you're seeing from that distance, and yet when you were back down at the kind of a few feet above sea level sort of thing, all you could see was up to here. And this is the boat further away. I'm higher, but the boat is further away.
Yep, and this is the same boat. This is during the same period of time. It's not like you went back the next day. Yep. This is you watched. What was the time period from like when you started taking photographs? Sorry, man, I know I'm being a bit fucking nitpicky, but like, how long were you around that first location taking photographs, and then you moved to the second location? I mean, how long were you hanging around there for? The first place?
Maybe guesstimates, but all the photographs have got the time stamped in them. So for the first series of photos, I've probably maybe about 20 minutes, half an hour, something like that, roughly.
Right.
And then we moved to the other location, and
Right.
just basically we just watched this until it went out of our sight.
You've done something magical and made the boat reappear by just going higher.
But this is why I was pointing at the tracking data earlier. It shows you the exact position of the boat, and it also shows you the degrees, as in the way it's facing. So that you can now see that the boat is actually heading over to my right rather than heading over in front of me to my left, sort of thing.
Is it going around the island now, right?
It's done. It's the southern part of its travel, and it's turned, and it's heading over
it's now going
the sort
224 degrees now instead of 180. It's going 220, 30 degrees.
Right, so you can, again, you can go back and you can look at the timestamps on my photographs.
Yep.
Then go into the tracking data and look up the equivalent timestamp on the track and show exactly what position it was on the sea and where it was located, and that'll give you your exact distance and everything.
Perfect. Well, how could you argue with that? How could you argue with that?
Yeah. Exactly. That's a bit clearer looking in that one.
Yep.
You can see the colour, you can see the line on it, you know. So
you can almost see, is that the writing? Can you command plus that? I don't know if you can almost see the writing.
No, it's not really, it's a bit fuzzy, you know.
Aye.
Nah.
But at the end of the day, it's still a lot more than we've seen at the end of your first location, the pictures, as it was sinking into the sea. Now you've went to a higher location, we can see nearly, no, the full boat, but most of it anyway. You know, we still see the white line going across the middle. That white line you were talking about. We can see that clearly.
You remember I was saying that I've put I've mentioned these things for a reason, okay? So this is Ailsa Craig. Remember you were talking about the haze?
Mm-hmm.
You know, flat earthers could say it was the haze. Ta-da! Say hello to Ailsa Craig Lighthouse. 32 miles away from a location. So, as just like the boat, when I was doing it at the lower elevation, all you could see was to roughly about here on this island.
Mm-hmm.
And now you can see the top half of the lighthouse. So just because I've changed the elevation.
More of the lighthouse now. You're higher.
Yep.
Yep.
It was completely hidden before. Now you can see it.
But how much?
So not just the boat.
But how much closer are you? Because you had to move down the coast, didn't you? Aren't you?
That's the thing. I'm slightly further down the coast, but I'm also further back.
Oh, you're further back,
and it balances it.
Away.
Aye.
Right.
Cool. We'll look at it again, right? And we'll
I'm just trying to think the way a flat earther would try and fucking debunk it, mate. Like they would say, because you moved to this location, you're closer.
The thing about it is, you could argue that if you're, stupid, and then you would realise that it still doesn't make sense, because I was looking at a boat that was out in the water, say 10, 13 miles away from me, and it was already half disappeared, and yet this lighthouse is like 32 miles away the first time and 31 miles the second time, and suddenly it's enough to make it appear. It doesn't work. But this is quite a nice shot, a nice wide shot, but it's clear. And this is important as well to remind ourselves that it is clear and there's nothing wrong with the horizon.
What's that on the right of the picture, away in the distance there?
That's the Ramira. That's the boat.
Is it?
So it's working its way across this way and working its way out to sea, right? So again, even with this wide shot, you can still see. I don't know if you can see it, but I can make out the lighthouse from there actually. Oh, it zooms into the ring bit. Hold on. You just make it out. You can make out the lighthouse. So this is it shows you it's getting nice and clear. It also shows you that it's moving further away from Ailsa Craig.
Yep.
Still visible. Still visible. Just again a wee bit closer in. Just skip to the next. Right, so that's reasonably close.
Yep.
Quite the extent of the zoom.
Still see quite.
Although it's fuzzy, I can see it in mine. I don't know how it shows up over the stream, but I can still see the line, the white line running across the hull.
I can still just see that, mate. It's faint, but I can still see that line going across the boat. We can still see most of the boat, to be honest with you, kind of for the very original.
It was just it.
It was close.
You know, you don't. Right, so getting a bit hazy, but it's getting further away. I'll see if I can get a wee bit closer in. Oh, right, sorry, I thought this. So this boat came out into the water. Obviously, you see this wee thing as well, but this came out and kind of came across.
Aye.
And this gave us another opportunity to compare. This is a bit hard to see anything here, right, at the moment. But it's heading over towards, and it'll cross paths.
That must be travelling a bit faster because you can still see the wake, the wake line all the way back.
Right. This is just a general wide shot. So if you compare that to what I showed you,
that's a beautiful picture because it's got green in it. It's like we were looking at monochrome.
Well, it did stop, you know, a lot of the kind of heavy cloud and stuff like that went away as well, which helped.
Nice.
This gives you a kind of overview of my rough position, you know.
Quite high.
With Ailsa Craig on the left.
It looks like you're
pretty, you know, and this is the
sea level.
Aye, it is kind of high, and the boat's somewhere around about here, and it's heading in this direction. You know,
I'm curious to what you would see if you were right down at the water at eyeball level from that position, like from like right down.
So there you go. So at this position, you can actually just about make out that some of the kind of lower half of this is starting to go again.
Aye, it's starting to disappear again. Yep.
Aye.
Definitely. The one in the foreground looks still quite clear.
Aye. So it's just getting it passing by, you know. So then, it's, you know, again, we're back to like the lower half. It's starting to disappear, sinking again.
It's sinking again, mate. Why is it sinking? Why is it sinking?
It's obviously working its way around the headland, getting further away, sinking away.
Oh my God, mate.
And as I said, you can compare the timings of these to the tracking data, see exactly where it was at that point, and see what the distance is, and you'll see that in obviously each case, it's all relative to the distance away from the camera.
Hear that noise? That's another nail. That's another nail in the flat earth coffin.
Hold on. If you can't see it by now, I doubt you ever will. Same goes for all of you.
Oh
Stop wasting your time.
If
you can't see a boat sinking below the horizon like that, you're a mental case.
And this is you high up. This is you high up as well, because a lot of flat earthers make the argument that they can see for miles and miles. They can see 100 miles, but usually it's because they're high up. But when you can even look in here, you must be at least 100 feet above sea level, and this is still sinking away behind the curve. You probably are about 100 feet above sea level, aren't you?
Aye, something like that, I would say.
Because they're quite...
We can check it soon, you know.
Aye.
Just another wee shot, again, comparison to a boat that's closer. Obviously, we can see again, this is Holy Island. It's the ferry coming back from Arran. And just a wee reminder of how much of the lettering we could see of the ferry above the water. You can also see more of a, you know...
You would almost say that you'd almost say that the lettering could be central in between the space between the bottom of the lettering to the sea and the space between the top of the lettering to the white of the boat. You could say that that's almost half and half. Kind of like it looks even, like the lettering looks pretty central. You know what I mean?
Because in that earlier,
it's not at the bottom of the boat,
the waterline,
at the top of the black
it's roughly to here.
It's roughly central, and it's roughly central, up close.
So
that's an amazing picture.
That's the same boat in shot, but towards the end, like this, the boat's gone now. But I actually took a wee bit of video, showing it going away. So if you give me a wee sec, I'll get that shared with you.
Aye. I'll have a wee look in chat. How'd you do that? Who's here? You've been exposed lawyer. What the fuck? Flat as fact. That's a new name. Cat Earth's still here. Nice to see Cat Earth still hanging around. I think, what's his name? Flat Earth Reset's away. He's left us. He can't handle the truth.
That's the same with them. They just make comments and never do anything.
Yep.
Just accept it, or it's flat and that's that, and just idiots.
And for somebody like yourself to have like how many subs? You got 41 subs on your channel. You know what I mean? Like you're one of the guys that are in the background, and you're still offering some of the best evidence. Do you know what I mean? Like the guys, it should be the top channels dishing this shit out. You know what I mean? But it seems to be the small people in the background that are actually offering the best material, in my eyes. To be honest with you, like Soundly, yourself, Wolfie, and these are guys that have got like a few hundred subs. You know what I mean? It's like all the best evidence seems to be coming from the smaller channels.
I just remembered a wee thing there, mate. Just a couple of wee quick photos, right? It's not a lot. It's just
you're not burdening me, mate. Didn't feel that you're getting rushed on it, and just take your time and show me everything you can.
Cool. It was just something I just remembered about there that I took some photos just to confirm that I was where I was and what time it was and stuff. So probably a good idea to remember to share them before I show you the video.
So did you
can you see that?
Go yourself today?
I had my brother with me.
You have your brother with you?
Aye. Can you see that?
Aye.
Right. So this is the P900 set up on that road that I was telling you about, and you can see in the viewfinder there. That's it, zoomed in on the Ramira. So this was just confirming what I was doing.
Yep.
And I was where I was. There you go. There's a view from up there. You can see the horseshoe aisle there. That's Ailsa Craig in the background.
What did you use to take the photo? What do you use to take this photo? Your phone?
I've got another wee camera.
All right.
It's a wee Samsung 1000 camera. I used that.
Cool.
And then that's my brother's phone because his shows the date and time like that on it. So that's the time we were up there getting the.
You'll see your face. You got grey hair.
My red napper because I was getting battered about with the wind for ages. Right.
Oh, can you?
And then that's all, so date and time, the P900 set up, the boat in view, you know what I mean?
Aye, and it's you can see the date, the time, perfect.
And then looking over the top, just a double confirmation. So I was where I was, all right? You can see, you can prove that.
Nice.
Right, so now that I've done that, I'll get the wee video.
Not like Spaceman was on earlier. Did you see that guy? You're listening to Spaceman?
No, I said I've been out doing this, and then obviously when I get back, I had to sort through everything so I could come on.
It's good when you go to work, and you come back and your subscriptions, you've got all these fucking videos you need to go through. You know what I mean? It's like I'm at work wondering what I'm going to come home to. I'm like, I wonder what's going to be my fucking subscriptions because I didn't look at my phone all day when I'm at my work.
Well, see, I'm sort of the opposite. If there's something that's like long enough to listen to and I don't need to necessarily look at it, then I try and listen to that while I'm at work rather than music because I end up listening to the same music every now and again. So I listen to some of the talks or hangouts and stuff like that.
That's what I find that a lot of people they listen to hangouts while they do their daily fucking chores. Like even in the housework, they'll sit and listen to a hangout or whatever. And anyway, I'm blabbering fucking shite. Anyway,
that's cool. Right, so obviously video's not as good as getting the photos, but this is the last moments of the Ramira.
So this is is that the boat, eh?
Aye. That's there.
Aye, that's it. Jesus, man, that's the last bit going away.
It's fuzzy, but if I pause it, as I say, you can see that half of it is missing.
Oh, you can see the aerial at the top of it. You can see most of the cabin, I think. But that's it.
You see the bridge. You can see part of the upper half of the deck or whatever, but you can't see it all. And an interesting wee thing, see how it looks kind of ripply there?
Uh-huh.
Right, look at it, it's all the way up. It's actually no atmosphere at all. This is the P900.
It's just a shit.
Saying that, it's an interesting thing to pay attention to, you know. So there you go. That's it disappearing. It's off.
Oh look, aye, it's real time, man. It's going. It looks like it's going quite quick, man.
Aye.
That's away.
Well, I'd say you got the full tracking data there. You can look it up and you can see how many knots it was doing when it disappeared.
That's crazy, mate.
So that's you. That is it, mate.
Is that all of it?
That's it.
Have you got any future plans for anything else? Because, like I said, I think I'm going to go take the bus in one, didn't depending on weather, weather permitting. I might just go down to the Forth and try and get shots of Bass Island.
Aye, Bass Rock.
Bass Rock.
See that the new bridge, as I say, that they've built over there. I was looking it up to see the shape of it, and I want to use that to demonstrate lens compression, to show how a longer, shallower curve looks like a wee hump, basically, to explain to people who, as I say, for whatever reason, they don't seem to get it. So just another thing to show it, rather than always showing the same thing, you know.
Aye.
I think that would be good.
That was really good stuff you got though, mate. Like I said, I want to get some.
Aye. Considering it was unplanned as well, I was pretty happy with all that stuff. It was quite good. You know, the combat, not just the fact that there was one boat I could track all the way, but I could track it all the way from both locations, and that there was several times where something else passed in front of it to give you a comparison to see. Oh, it was really good.
So just a wee rundown of what we
in the same conditions.
So just a wee rundown of what we're looking at. We were standing at your first location. Where was that again? The port.
Give me a sec, and I'll put Google Earth back on, and we'll go over that if you want. Hey, what? Oops. This stupid thing. Can you guys see Google Earth in the Hangout?
Aye, so what we were looking at was your first location.
Right. Can you see that then? Can you see Google Earth?
Aye.
All right, cool. All right, that's Laurie. Just got back to us as well. Cool, right, thanks. So this was the first location that we were standing at, Port and Cross, right? And the boat, the oil tanker, hold on, came out from Greenock and came round through here and appeared to us through this area here. So that's when we first see it, it's coming out here. And then for most of the view, we're looking from this side over to Holy Island and Arran. So if I spin it round, right? Oh, Jesus, see this thing? Try to spin it and it's zooming in on it. Fucking hell. Move, you twat. Okay. Right, so that's more the kind of orientation that we had.
Where you're looking. Yep.
Right. So we're doing it Port and Cross.
Oh, you're right. You're actually further back. When you look at it from this perspective, your second location was higher, but it was actually further away.
Yep.
Yep.
So if we... The way it works, I know it maybe looks closer to some people and stuff like that, but when you do that, I've done it before, right? But I've not done it at the night, and so I can't remember the exact, perfect figures. But if you measure the distance from here to say Ailsa Craig, and then measure distance from here to Ailsa Craig, there's like a nominal difference. There's very little in it. It's not like there's a big huge change. and then obviously the elevation is what makes the difference.
So we sat and watched, what was the boat called? From the position 1?
The Ramira. So the Ramira.
And we watched the Ramira disappear over the...
Come out through here, and it's... Hold on, I'll just zoom out a wee bit. And then it's travelled up through the Firth of Clyde, passed in front of Holy Island, went out and kind of hooked round through here, past Ailsa Craig and round the headland here.
And
so that's why when you were looking at it from the elevated position, we see that it's changed direction. It's heading over to the right in our shots rather than to the left, because obviously it was passing in front of us this way down here.
But both locations you went to, the first one and the second one, you seen eventually the boat disappear.
Yep, exactly. Yep. So from down here, you could see it very prominently, you know, and I'll actually need to remember if we'll shove up that first, you know, the early picture of the boat to look at the...
Aye, go ahead, mate. Go ahead.
Overall height of the thing. But aye, so you can see that it ends up just like when it's roughly around about here, it's kind of only the bridge, the top of the bridge that you can see.
Yep.
Around about here. And then by the time we move to the second location, it's kind of somewhere out here heading across, you know.
Yep.
And as we're following it, it for the most of this part here, it's roughly the same height above the water, but by the time it disappears around the headland, it's starting to disappear again, and about half of the hull is missing. So obviously, the more it's travelling, the further and further away it's getting. So it's the common denominator in it. You know, you change the elevation, you can see Marriott, and you know, the further and further away it gets, the more it starts to disappear again. But there's other objects. That's the thing. There's objects in the foreground, objects in the background, blah blah blah, and you can compare all of them to how much of the boat is disappearing. So you can't say come out with all this bullshit that they come out with about its perspective and all that. If the perspective somehow made a small object closer to you disappear, then a large object, like, you know, even further away is going to be affected as well, which obviously it is to some extent because a lower part of it is disappearing.
Yeah.
But you know, there's certain situations like where it's boats and things like that, and you know, if the same rule applied, then whatever's behind it you wouldn't see at all. You know what I mean? It's just nonsense.
It's a brilliant presentation, mate. Good presentation. And like we said, maybe we've not got all the exact numbers from where you're the altitude you're standing, but anyone can see right now he's marked the position. So if you want to go and look to where he was standing and how high above sea level it is, you can do all your own measurements. But at the end of the day, observations show a boat fucking disappearing over a curve, beyond the curve. That's the whole.
For a quick reminder, this is the first location, which if you're looking up in Google Earth, look for Port and Cross and look for this car park as a way to identify you're in the right area.
And you were right.
And if you missed the earlier part of the hangout, I've shown this building. So I've looked behind me from where I was standing and taken a photograph of this building just to confirm. And then the second location. Oops.
So why did you choose the second location? Why did you choose this particular location? Is it just because it was on the road, kind of thing?
It's because it gives the elevated view.
But is that the highest point on the road?
It doesn't look like it on this, obviously, but it climbs up. You know, these are hills. Obviously, you can see it from the photographs that it slopes away down. You know, so this is obviously elevated, and in this particular position, you get a good view across all the same features. And the distance is almost exactly the same. So
see at the bottom corner of Google Earth on your thing. See, it says I alt. Is that not the height there? I alt.
Oh, there's elevation.
Elevation
to the left of that, mate. It says elevation, right? So
so wherever you move, I've noticed that it was changing whenever you're moving the cursor at the
right.
So if you could maybe
just zoom in a bit to make sure it's a bit more accurate.
Aye.
Right, 93 meters according to that.
Aye.
And we'll just compare it to the original location. Wish I'd noticed that earlier. That's fucking handy. And 1 meter.
1 meter.
Now, obviously, the camera was obviously on a tripod, so you can add an extra couple of feet for that. But 1 meter to 93 meters is the distance that it is saying. So,
right, cool.
And then I guess we can use that feature as an estimate for the background. the wee lighthouse, is 15 metres. According to Google Earth, anyway, it's 15 metres. So when you got any pictures where there's something, you know, with that in the background, it'll give you something as a reference point for how what you're seeing.
Yep.
So obviously I have got them, which you saw earlier. If you, I can't really, you know, can't remember every photograph, but I guess you could see like, you know, well, if that's 15 metres above sea level, and if the boat's kind of sunk down in front of that, and then you can't see below that, but you can see that, you know, it tells you that there's like 10, 12 metres hidden below. You know what I mean? So, aye. Quite handy to know that, actually.
It was a nice presentation. Considering you didn't really it's like you just get your images, you pick the best ones, and this is what you produced, and it's a very good presentation, really, Ken.
Thanks very much. If I stop, do you want to do that? I'll just quickly look at that boat again, all right? Just to remind everybody, and you can see about the height yet.
A few people might have missed the very beginning. This hangout. It's only 4 or 5 people in the start, I think.
Right. Let's see. Just waiting on Photoshop loading up.
Neighbour. Since Camillo's in the house. He's usually in the moon. There's a channel that watches the moon. I can't remember what it was. Space something. But since Camillo, I think he's a moderator in there. So how you doing, since Camillo? Smoke break. E-Truth. Cat. Laurie Gale still here. Maria. Aye, man. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Right. Takes a wee minute.
Okay, what I done today, mate, while you're waiting. I was in Grim. You getting Grim?
Yep.
He had a hangout of the day, I think it was. It was this morning, Nathan Oakley was in there. He had a few comments like, good morning. And then he said something to Grim saying, is that a bud? I want that bud. And I'm a mod in Grim's, so I just went, fucking put him in a timeout. So I've always wanted to do that to Nathan Oakley, man. Just put him in a timeout. That felt good. I'm sorry, Grim.
Right. Can you see that photo, mate?
Oh, aye.
Right, so just a wee reminder, and for anybody who missed it earlier, obviously, to remind us, because we were talking about how much of the boat we could see in the later images, you know what I mean? But for anybody who missed it at the beginning, this is the boat just coming out onto the Firth of Clyde.
This was the closest point the boat was probably to you, was it?
Aye.
Yeah.
And these wee guys in the foreground just help, but also what I was talking about, again, because it might not have made any sense to anybody who was listening to the later part yet, is how much is visible, and we were talking about the line here.
Yep, the white line going across the middle.
You know, so, you know, we can see how much of the keel of the boat or whatever is visible here. And then when you look at it later on and it's further away and I'm elevated, you can actually see all this again, even though in the midpoint, you know, when I'm doing my first set of observations, all you can see is like here.
but you showed it twice. You showed it from the first location sinking to the point where you could only see the deck or whatever it was. Then you went to the elevated position and watched it to the point where you could only see the deck. And then how high would you have to keep going before you wouldn't see it at all eventually? Because at the end of the day, it's still going to keep going over the curve, even if you went up a 1,000.
If you had a long enough stretch, you could see far enough. It would just keep disappearing.
Aye.
But, so again, for anybody who's interested, this vessel is, you know, it's all traceable and trackable. If you search for Ramira, and you'll find it on various tracking websites. But the one I was sharing earlier, let me just remind you, it's marinetraffic.com. If you look it up on there, you get a track that shows you its path, and you can look at nodes along every part of its path.
And this is a consistent path, because they have to keep the same path because there's dangers in the water. They have to stay on the same route. They kind of just go veering off. This is the path they always take, kind of thing. Consistent.
I mean, when you go to some of these sites, it actually shows you historical data so that you can see where it's been before, not just the day. So it's live tracked. It's live tracked the new. I know you can't see it, but I'm looking at that the new, and it's It's way further out into the sea now. It's heading its way sort of northeast. But you can see the full track right round the Isle of Arran, right round Campbelltown and all that kind of stuff and out into the sea. So every point along the line on marinetraffic.com, you can zoom in, you can click a node, you can find out the speed, the heading, and the time that was reported. Mm-hmm. And so with the information from the photographs, you can compare the two. So you'll know exactly where that boat was compared to when I took the photograph of it. So then you can obviously measure the distances and stuff like that. So it's very, very traceable, and you can obviously compare these images for anybody that's interested. For looking at the later, if they've missed the beginning of the hangout and they're kind of watching it, you can see that this line here and obviously the measure. But when you're looking at the boat at different positions in the water, you'll be able to see how obviously it starts to disappear. It ends up like up to about this level, and then when I raise elevation, you can see it all the way down below that line again. So,
and when was it you took these photos? 4 o'clock or something? You were saying roughly 3, 4.
You know what? Give me a second. I'll tell you some of the times. So.
Because you know what these.
So first when it started off, first photos of the ship, it was just about to hit 10 to 3.
Right.
And then let me see, 13:02. So the last photograph that I took at the lower elevation was a couple of minutes to 4. So I was actually there for an hour. So it was longer than I thought.
It was 10 to 3 before. It was 10 to 3 when you took your first shot.
Aye.
And then it was
about 5 to 4 on the last shot at the lower elevation.
Roughly an hour.
Right. And then about 20 past, well, so bear in mind I'm looking at the selected photos, not every single photo I took. So there will be ones in between. But the first one I've got and the ones I've been showing you when I'm at the elevated position is at 25 past 4. Mm-hmm. So that obviously, again, you can look at that tracking information and see how, where it's moved and the time between me, leaving the first position and getting to the second position.
Yep. So this is all very green.
And then green?
I mean, green, like fresh. Like when you
oh, right, yeah.
The phrase green, new, fresh. But I mean, you've no sat on this
final photograph was at 20 past 5.
Tried to manipulate it in Photoshop. This is like today. Fucking like less than.
I took it today. Came home, messaged you about doing it on the hangout, and obviously I just needed like an hour or so to kind of take out all the decent shots and ignore all the fuzzy ones and shit like that, so that I could share it tonight. So that's that. Been nothing in between. I took a few minutes to quickly check out the name of the ship and get the tracking data, so I could tell people about that, and that's about it. There's nothing else. I've not even looked at them. I've not looked at them to try and straighten them or anything like that for my own pleasure. You can see some of them are sort of squint and stuff, but and I've only shown you obviously the relevant photos. There's some shitty ones, or some other ones I just took for the sake of photography. I've got some nice shots of crepuscular rays and shit like that. You know what I mean? I've not just got pictures of the boat. So that's it. Totally, literally just done a few hours ago, if you like.
You done well, mate. You done well. It's kind of getting me. It's inspiring me a wee bit. That's what I'm saying. If the weather's nice tomorrow, I might just go down to the Granton and try and get some pictures of the bridge and Inchmickery Island as well. Like just different shit. You can see oil rigs away over at fucking Fife, kind of like off their coast, Edinburgh. There's loads of shit you can see for Edinburgh. So I might go down and stuff myself.
See, I don't know the area well enough to know, where to go there and what to look for.
Well,
what I mean?
Alan, I think we should maybe collaborate sometime, and like we can I could stand on one side, I could stand on the Edinburgh side, and you could stand on the Fife side, and we can see if we can see each other. Can we legs missing or fucking feet missing, or we could use?
Oh, definitely. Because that's the way I want to do all this stuff. Ideally, obviously there's some places where you kind of don't need it, but like the one, the reason I was there the day, as I said, it was to like recce out the area because it was a proper observation, that a planned one that I wanted to do down there.
Aye.
And it's just looking at the same features really, but it's doing it more meticulously, doing it from both those same two observation points, looking across towards Arran and Ailsa Craig and stuff, but also getting over the other side to Arran and Ailsa Craig, to all the different points, and taking the same shot back up to your observation points, and double checking every single observation and seeing, like, proving the point that basically you get the same obstruction. Well, I've still not found out about all this stuff, but I'm looking into it. To be honest, I probably would have jumped into the place today if I hadn't been stunning for a couple of hours doing all this.
The sounds of you sound like the kind of character that would just fucking jump in a boat and fucking go over there if you had the chance.
Oh, I would. No bother at all. I've got the possible option. There's some people I know who say they know a person with a boat type of thing. So if I have any problems with the place I'm looking at, then there's always a possible option of getting a wee help from a friend of a friend kind of thing.
Oh, definitely.
So one way or another,
your brother must have been helping as well, kind of if he's coming out with you and stuff like that.
Oh, he's loving it.
The thing is,
he's not a friend of the flappers.
The thing is, you're lucky, mate. You live in a country where you go to the west of Scotland. It's fucking breathtaking. Not only you got these like brilliant observations to disprove flat Earth, but you've got all that fucking history and the ancient history, and because I love like the history behind all these ancient islands, kind of the old churches and the old chapels, and just to be in that part of the country is just like a privilege. I think sometimes when you see this kind of the rays of there's something almost I don't know. There's something about Scotland that almost brings you like closer to like. I'm not being fucking like a preacher or anything, but it feels like spiritual. These places do feel spiritual when you see them. I mean, like just the feeling. Like,
there's some nice places.
Aye.
And there's a lot of history to them. Unless you're one of these people that believes every bit of history is totally fake, obviously.
Like Martin, he thinks that the fucking history started in 14th century or something. What?
Just while I'm talking, I've just put that site on, by the way, just so I can show people what I was talking about the nodes all the way along the entire path that this boat took today.
You can see it stayed at a consistent 12 knots kind of thing.
Aye. And you can see the heading, so you can compare as well, not just the location, you can see the actual, you can tell why in a shot I've taken it's facing this way sort of thing, because the angle I've got it at or whatever, as it's heading across here. Which the important thing about that for me is that it shows that when I'm getting these shots, it's passing through this area, which means it's almost the same distance as Ailsa Craig. So roundabout here is about 30 to 35 miles, depending on which actual point you're on.
Right. Cool.
So the point being there that when I was looking at it down this way, as it was passing in front of Holy Island, it would start to disappear. And when it was roundabout here, it was practically gone. And yet, just by raising my elevation, I can see it nearly double the distance away the full ship. So, yeah. Yep. So because that's like you hear this with flat earthers, like I can see 100 miles. It's like, well, where did you see it? Oh, at the top of a mountain. It's like, well, fuck it. Exactly. The higher you go, the further you're going to see. Jesus, man, can you look at that in their skulls? I know that's what it's brilliant. It's like, it's flat because we can see for miles and miles and miles. Well, why can I not see a boat that's like 10 mile away properly and half of it's missing or something?
Aye.
Oh, it's some kind of weird optical effect. Okay, so how can I see something 100 miles away if there's some weird optical effect going on at fucking 8 miles? They don't think anything through. They just contradict themselves because they need an answer.
To be honest, we'll probably wait for the replies to this hangout. You know what I mean? Like there will be a few. Like Ali will probably sit with his wee specky boyfriend and go through this stuff, and Dale might have a opinion about it. But to me, like I said, it's another nail. It's another piece of evidence. I'm not saying it's totally proof, but like you stack up evidence against the case, and to be honest, we're fucking like that now. Like, it's like. I'm waiting for them.
Sorry, I'm
waiting for Dell to go maybe.
Just in case you're wondering, mate, I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at something that somebody said in the chat because I've just Anders says.
Is that the romantic?
Any education you can get is good for you. Education.
What was what I seen? I was like, we're exposing flat Earth romantically or something. Romantically proving the globe.
That's because you were getting all wishy-washy about your history.
You can, I get all that. It's like romantic about that shit. I like to imagine, but I'm not trying to deceive anyone.
I don't know. See, its thing is obviously I don't concentrate in the chat, especially if I'm sitting doing this stuff, But the night I thought I've got I've got your wee hangout running on my phone, so I can try and see some of it while I'm talking shit.
It's been a pleasure, mate. It's been a pleasure once again, and I really hope to get you back on again with some more shit. Like, even, do you know what? Even if I get my own stuff, I want you to be there to look through it with me the same way you done it with mine, Kevin. So if I get some footage tomorrow, I hope you're available to like join me to like scrutinise what I've.
Unless I'm out doing something in particular,
unless you're
then I just give us a shout and I'll jump on. Quite happy, you know what I mean?
Nice one.
And also, as I was going to say, I do want to, I do want to get through to get a wee look at this bridge. Actually, the day I was even considering doing it, if I was going to be, if I'd been less time doing it the West Coast, I'd maybe jump through to the East Coast, you know what I mean, and go a quick look.
Organise something. Just me up at my lodge, and Princess Street. Just me at the lodge, beside the governmental agency building. I'm usually in there with my piece.
What I'll do is I'll send you a wee. I'll send you a wee message through the vacuum tubes that are obviously running under the whole of the earth. You know what I mean? Sorry, is it the ones that are obviously powered by electromagnetism? That's why we get that distortion in the Blackpool and shit.
Aye, definitely, mate.
Can I get rid of that?
So it's 2:30 now.
Aye, it's late o'clock again. At least this time we don't need to get up for work in the morning. What a bitch that was last time.
I know, it's been good, mate. It's been good. I've enjoyed every bit of it. I really have. And thanks, like I said, awesome. Alan, thanks for bringing it to me. Like, I feel like there's not a lot of channels out there that's actually showing good, decent evidence, and I just feel privileged that you're coming to me than any other channel. You could have went anywhere and you came here, so I'm just appreciative of that, man. Thanks.
That's cool. You're a good man. It's good to share it.
Nice one. Right, well, I'm going to end the stream, and I think I will go get up early tomorrow and go for a wee trek down to the shore with I've got a Canon 50D, you know what I mean?
Right, nice.
But I've got some cracking lenses about this size. Again, I can't mind what the actual fucking specifications of the lens is, but I think it's like 100 times zoom or something like that. It's really good fucking lenses. So anyway, man, I'll end it here. And it was a pleasure, mate.
Aye, thanks again for having us.
Oh, it was a pleasure.
And as you say, it'll be interesting to see what the bitching is after this.
Oh, we'll expect it. Like, after we had that, I think I heard in 3 different hangouts this one getting mentioned. Just oh bullshit, just the typical usual shite. You know what I mean? If it's not coming for Ali, if it's not coming for Dell, if it's not coming for fucking whoever, you hear it somewhere. I mean,
well, you know what? I'm sure he'll be very happy that in the space of a week we've got another one.
Aye, I think, Alan, you've got a pocket full of coffin nails. You're just walking around with those coffin nails in your pocket, just dish, 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 and 1 week there's another fucking nail. I mean, hopefully we can add so many nails to the coffin they just can't fucking get out of it. You know what I mean? Because it keeps it.
Oh, this is the thing. Dead. This is my intention. I've already got other wee things that I want to do anyway. They're not all related to like taking long distance photography, but the camera helps with doing other things, and then there's other wee like practical things that I want to do and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. There was one I came up with I thought might be a kind of useful thing, but when I think about it, I don't think I'd be the best person to do it. So I'm going to contact somebody that's well known in the scene and see if they can, if they think it's a good idea, and they'd be able to do it a lot better than I can. You know what I mean? It involves like today with moon observations and stuff like that, but it's a specific way of doing it that's a wee bit more involved, and I just don't think I'm the right guy to do it. I think the idea is okay, and I'll speak to somebody and see if they agree that it's a good idea, and if it is, then maybe they'll do it.
What happened to your music?
So I've got a wee bunch of ideas. That's the main thing.
What happened to your
music?
Your song. What happened to that?
I just fell away from it.
You just let that fucking disappear.
It was. It's a lot of work, but it's not just that. It's like I get distracted with a lot of other stuff, right?
I think you should.
And then the other thing about it is, mate, is it's kind of out of date now.
All right, is
that
it
one's out of date. Aye. So, but saying it, I've still got it. Do you know what I mean? And I listen to it every now and again. It gives me a chuckle. But
I think you should add it to one of your videos, the observations you've made. Maybe just put some of your observations together and add
just a short bit of it.
Aye. So
but I think I've got the other thing about it is, Jed, I'm just one of the kind of people, to be honest with you. I've got all kinds of daft ideas running through my head, so it's not the only song I've come up with. There's more. It's just a time thing with me. I mean, I'm kind of badly organised and stuff like that, and obviously if I go to do something like this, I'm not doing something else.
There's a guy that went on Dell's today. There was a guy that went on Dell's today, right? And he was like, I wrote a rap song for the Flat Earth, and he was like, right.
Wasn't baggy hoop?
No, he was like, the Earth is flat, and that is that. And then I think he forgot half it. And he was like, hey, I've had too much to smoke. I forgot what I was going to say. It was like your typical, just lousy ass, flimsy, flumsy, shitty people that have got half a no offense to the people coming on, but they must smoke a little weed or something to get like the courage or something, or get fucked, because when they go on, they just forget what they were going to talk about. Maybe because of that scared to death, they're like, fuck it, I need to get and drink.
Maybe. It's a tough crowd. Well, no, I mean, a day I have, honestly, mate, we'll need to meet up, and I will tell you some of the shit I've come up with, and I guarantee you'll enjoy it, but it's whether I get round to actually doing it or no is another story.
Well, you know what I mean? See, when you contacted me the first time, I was still doing fucking projects in college and shit like that, so I had quite a lot on my plate of fucking tests and papers and fucking evaluations and all this shit when you actually contacted me, but I still had it in the back of my mind, and I still wanted to use it in some way.
Trust me, I would love to do it, but it's just it involves a wee bit of a bit of groundwork, obviously, to get everything I need. And the other thing about it is say it's technically out of date now, because it refers to a group of people that aren't really a group of people anymore, so it doesn't really work. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But at the same time, it sort of does just for the fun of it. So it's one of the ones I'd like to complete it, to have it complete. And
I don't think you should let that one just disappear. You know what I mean? I think you should get on your channel, or like I said, make your observations, put them together, and put the song on top of them. Fuck it. Even if it can. I've been
thinking about doing a secondary channel and just putting all the Flat Earth stuff on there, and then making it a proper Flat Earth kind of debunk channel. So have whatever I've done observation wise, have some of the satire stuff on it, the kind of stuff you're talking about. Contact other people like Wolfie and Sly and see if there's key things from them I can mirror, and then that way it's like a kind of big resource for all good stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Well, you might as well do it now whilst your main channel's still small. Do you know what I mean? Like, you don't feel like you're sacrificing a big channel for just a Flat Earth channel. You can just start it now, whilst you're still fresh, because at the end of the day, I think you'll start getting attention. If you keep doing what you're doing, you're going to gain more subs and views on your shit. Like, I think I've got more subs than I actually show. Like, I've got 700 subs, but I know for a fact Dell, IPS, fucking Patricia Steer, fucking all these people watch me, Jeranism, but they're no sub to me. I've got hundreds of people like that watch me that aren't fucking sub to me. And you'll be similar. You'll be sitting at 100 subs, but you'll probably have like 200 people watching you consistently. Because I'm the same with Dell. I don't subscribe to Dell. I just type in beyond, and then it comes up. It's like fucking boom, and right to the top. So it's like
I mean, I don't subscribe to any of them. I just check them out every now and again.
I'm subscribed to IPS because he does a lot of jump. His channels get fucking sort of banned, so it's hard to keep sort of up with him. Through the looking at how you get rid
of. Not a fan of IPS anyway.
I'm not a fan either, but I like to keep an eye on. He's an interesting character, I've got to say. Like, I think he's a fucking glober, and he's just trolling.
He's went pretty fucking quiet, isn't he? Really, overall. I mean, one minute you just couldn't get away from him, and it was all this. We're doing all this. The billboards, we're doing the rocket and all that, and then the rocket's fucking no happening, and nothing else is happening. He's disappearing because of Flat Earth reset, supposedly, and there's been a big change.
Do you think it's legit that he says that Mad Mike actually ripped him off. Do you think that's a legit sort of explanation for what's happened?
I would say it's 50-50, and I'm on the fence because, and I'll tell you why. Because like, I don't trust IPS as far as I can throw him, and I don't think he would admit doing any wrong, if you like. But at the same time, everybody was warning him that Mad Mike was a rip-off merchant. So
I looked into Mad Mike, his channel, right, had a comment saying from 2015 saying, we gave you money to do this rocket jump. Where can this was like well before Flat Earth was like really kicking off.
Aye.
People were commenting he was a rip-off. So I said this in one of my hangouts ages ago. So I think IPS has just been ripped off from a bigger con man, to be honest with you. Maybe they were going to rip each other off and just he went in there first, I don't know, again, like fucking. But it's legit, like that he would rip him off. You know what I mean? So.
Aye.
I mean,
the reason I have a problem with the idea of him getting ripped off is because he's the guy that knows all about the money and the marketing. So to be that fucking dumb on something like that, that's no very believable.
But even my missus says this to me, right? She says, even if he made $2 grand, $3 grand, whatever it is, if you had just a normal job at minimum wage, you'd probably still make more than that in the time he's took to fucking accumulate that. Do you know what I mean? It's like worth it. Okay.
The thing is, how is it nobody? I mean, there must be some people that work, but I mean, generally, most of the kind of bigger names you hear about, none of them seem to have normal jobs.
No,
they're all fucking unemployed or pretending to be self-employed at something that they're no obviously good at, really, because IPS seems to have a certain skill set, but hasn't, in my opinion, doesn't seem to have been especially skilled at it in the big wide world, and that's how he's ended up in a niche market like Flat Earth.
I think in the autism spectrum, mate. Like you can't work, you can't work with these kind of people like IPS. You can't, he can't work in a proper team. Do you know what I mean? He's one of these.
Aye, you're probably right.
But he's autistic, mate.
Aye. Well, can you imagine some? I mean, he's the kind of person that like would correct you on everything that you did. You know, he would always know better than you how to do something, and he would always be like correcting your, I don't know, your pronunciation and your diction. Do you know what I mean? It's like every aspect of what you did, he'd probably be like, no, you could do better at that. No, that was the wrong way to do it. I could imagine that being the case, you know what I mean? Because he's so like, you know, as you say, he's so clued up and hyper, if you know what I mean, just like on the Asperger's or autism sort of side of things.
Over information though, it's like he's got too much information when he's just blah 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 blah, and because he knows so much, he kind of contradicts himself sometimes. It's like, he talks about fascism, and at the same time he's acting fascist. Kind of, it just seems Flat Earth just seems to be full of contradictions, like all the way through.
There's a few people that like to talk about stuff they don't really know about.
Example, a walking contradiction. I just think that guy, he says to use natural science, to use your observations, to use logic, to use what you can see as evidence, and all I see from Flat Earth is the opposite. Like we're using his logic. We're using his fucking logic. If you use his logic on himself, he's fucked. It's like, well, what does he do? Like, crazy.
As I said, right, you know, when it comes to him, everything he does is a contradiction, just like you said, because he sits and preaches about how to do these things, and he never does them himself.
He poured water on a ball.
And then when it comes to the conversations he has about all this stuff with the likes of Gav, you know, there's certain things that come out, especially if they're talking to somebody they don't agree with, and they start their fucking, you know, whooping like jackals and attacking them. And it's like, if somebody says, oh, I don't know, just say we've got a picture from space, and they go, oh, how do you know that? You get that from NASA or whatever. Is that your authority? Is that your third party authority? You know, in that kind of way, they've got all these wee kind of things that they fall back on. And yet Dell constantly refers to Gav's authority. And whenever it suits them to have their wee so-called philosophical conversations about how things ought to be in direct realism, Gav only ever quotes Thomas Reid. He never actually comes out with a single thought of his own.
Yep.
He's always referring to an authority. He's always getting information from a scientist. If you say something, you'll be, oh, the men in white coats tell you that, ha ha ha, that kind of stuff. Do you know what I mean? So every single way that they speak about it, they contradict themselves. And
I wish they would use
the other one we got that I really love, which is a major contradiction, Sorry. But we Gav, he's fucking, the other thing that, Dell likes to say, although he doesn't really know what he's talking about, he's like, maths is a formal science and, that doesn't count and all this kind of stuff. And Gav's like, aye, and Gav pushes that side of things a lot. And what has Gav done? And he's the same as Dell. Has he done any physical, real-world experiments? Has he come into Dell's and said, oh, here's this observation I've done, or here's this model I've made, or anything like that? No, he never does that. But the one and only piece of information that he does produce, what is it? A mathematical model in a fucking CGI program. I mean, give me a break.
Have we seen any real-world observations from Gav, Dell, or any of that crew? Have we ever seen them saying, look at this, this is what I've taken, like this? All we've seen is Dell sitting in his garden pouring water on a fucking deflated football. It's pathetic. It's pathetic. And he sits there preaching his logic that things have to be observed, repeated. Well, you could go to that place where you went today over and over again and watch that same fucking boat doing the same thing over and over again repeatedly.
That's the beautiful thing about it. Not only could you go to the same place, several boats, you can see the exact boat because its entire journey is always tracked. So you can find out when it's going to be there again and go and watch it again.
So I hope that flat earthers are watching and they can do something similar to disprove what Alan's shown us tonight. I really do.
I'd like to see that.
I would like to see it. I would. Ali.
I agree that actually, I'd like to see it just for the fact it would be good to see one of them get up half their arse and go and do something.
Aye, it would be. And then, like, maybe even try to squirm their way out of it, but at least they've done it. Like, you wouldn't even, just say Ali did go out to the water and start taking photos, or Dell or somebody did. Well, at least they tried. At least they fucking tried.
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't even try. They just sit there and fucking, nee.
That's it. A year and a half or whatever, preaching to people today and never doing it themselves. There's so many of these things with him and that crew or whatever. I mean, like, he's always going on about, or shows a model, and anything that's claimed about reality should be, you should be able to scale it, which isn't true anyway. Anybody that says that obviously doesn't know.
Radio waves.
But the thing is,
scale those fucking things. Wi-Fi. Fucking.
But he's not done it. He keeps saying, right, well, the Earth is flat. Well, fucking model it then, scale it. He tries to get out of it saying, I don't believe in many maps and models, but he's also contradicted himself on that, because he has said on more than one occasion, I could fucking do it. I could use the materials that are around about me and I could build in a model, but they can't do it. Well, fucking do it then. Prove that you can do it. I'd love to see that.
In schools, mate. He said tonight he wants to. Well, another YouTuber has went into the schools and taught a class about some shit about flat Earth. So he said tonight, and he said that's the direction he wants to go. And I thought, fucking hell, this is activism. Is this activism, or is this just is this Jehovah's Witness behaviour? You know what I mean?
I want to hear any one of them actually give me a good explanation of how it is they feel justified in going out and telling other people the Earth is flat when they have absolutely fuck all evidence or proof to say that it's flat.
See if fucking my son came. Some guy covered in tattoos came into their classroom to teach them about flat Earth. I would go fucking ballistic at the school.
Aye.
I would go. Some guy with a skinhead covered in tattoos try to tell my kid the Earth's flat. I would go fucking ballistic. When the day comes that people like that walk into schools and teach our kids, is a day I will just flip out. I'll fucking flip out. I will flip out. It's not America, so there'll not be a mass shooting, but I might go around punching people in the face. Because the world's got fucked if we've got fucking those kind of people walking into our schools teaching that shit. Like, maybe you can do that shit.
It's never going to happen.
In India, you can do that shit.
You know what?
But no fucking here. Fuck that.
But it's a pipe dream, mate. It's a total pipe dream.
And that's what
they're completely delusional about it. Say this is where does the conviction come from when they can't offer you a single piece of proof to say that it is what they think it is? You have to have the actual evidence. You have to have the actual science before you go around trying to educate or inform other people about it.
If Dale and Gav were doing what you're doing, you're going to the sites, you're taking photos, you're taking observations of like stuff that shouldn't happen. If it was flat and whatever, like if they were doing the same thing and it was legit, and they were actually showing stuff that you were thinking, wait a minute, that shouldn't be happening. and then they were maybe thinking about going to schools to make the kids think about it. Like, fair enough. But
That's it. I mean,
this is obvious.
There's no chance that they're going to be right. But if there was a chance, you need to get the proof. You need to get the evidence. You can't just say it and hope for the fucking best. You need to have something to show to people. And this is why I have a problem with this whole idea. Any of them, no, just Dell, any of them talking about educating their kids at home and all that. Well, there's a whole bunch of shit they show they just don't understand. They don't have any proof. They don't have any science. They don't have fuck all. So what are they going to be teaching?
Well, put it this way, Alan.
Anybody, how are they ever going to educate?
It's a minority. Thank fuck it's a tiny portion of people like that. Thank fuck, mate. And hopefully that's the way it stays.
Feel sorry for anybody that gets caught, you know.
But
especially anybody young.
Sometimes it's just the way of the world. Sometimes, like, fair enough, we can't you can't save everyone, Alan. You can't save, but it'd be different if it was a bigger scale and there was a lot of kids getting affected. But if it's like, if Dale's teaching his kids, well, that's up to him. It's his kids. He can teach them that. But if it starts spreading into our kids, like if he's going into schools and try to teach my fucking kid, he can teach his kids all he wants. It's not my kid. He can teach his kids what he wants. I don't care. He starts to come to my school and teach my fucking kids stuff. Well, then that's when I've got a problem with it, to be honest with you.
You know, I'm kind of 50-50 about it because I just think about the unfortunate situation for anybody that's going to be made to grow up ignorant about everyday subjects that they could learn.
It's like Jehovah's Witnesses. You couldn't save all the Jehovah's Witnesses kids.
No, I know. It's just frustrating.
These things.
You know? And I feel sorry for them. And I guess it's one of these ones that you're kind of in on the ground floor of it. You know, this is a bit different. You know, talking about like the Jehovah's is something that's been going for hundreds of years, and you can't do fuck all about it. Do you know what I mean? You can maybe do your wee part, you know, and get involved with it by doing shit like this rather than just stoning back and letting it happen. You know what I mean?
Well, hopefully the kids can, like, this presentation you've made is now going to be logged in the fucking internet, and hopefully kids grow up and they come across stuff like this and go, I remember some guy covered in tattoos telling me fucking some shit. And if, like we need more of this stuff out there just to counteract people like Dell, people like Mark Sargent, he's just this disinformation, and they're retarding. They're actually retarding the youth. But like I said, they're retarding the youth if it was getting popular. But thank God it's not. Thank God most young people.
No, I know. As I say, I just feel sorry for anybody that's unfortunate enough to get caught up in it. And it's not just like
worried, Alan, if the
it's not necessarily a temporary thing, and it only happens at home. You know, the way they think about the world is going to be different, and as such, they're going to be subject to certain, you know, shitty behaviour basically from other human beings because they're different and say strange things, and it's just human nature, unfortunately. You know, they'll get bullied and whatever, made funny, you know, and maybe they shouldn't be bullied and made funny, but it's still it's a consequence of what they're going to be doing. You know what I mean?
But like I said, it's like you could have Jehovah's Witnesses kids and you wouldn't go rushing out to try and help their kids, and their kids' minds might be the same. The world was only created 2,000 years ago, and it could be flat. Like whatever, Mormons, whatever, you can't go out saving everyone's kids. You know what I mean? All you can do is do what you're doing, Alan. Present evidence and get it seen by as much people as you can, and hopefully.
Aye, well, that's what I say. Just because you're, you know, this is a wee bit different because you're in it, you know, while it's happening, if you like, and it's not really spreading, and so maybe you can, you know, by doing shit like this, maybe you can.
Sorry, I know it's easy to feel sorry for kids and all that, but at the same time, you can't let the emotions get the better of you. You got to remember that. This is a tiny minority, mate. This is a fucking tiny minority. As long as people like Dell don't start going into the schools, because I will fucking move country. I will move out of this fucking country. People like Dell start going into schools. Honestly.
It'll not happen, mate. It'll not happen.
Thank God it won't.
They can dream about it all they want, but it's never going to happen.
Never going to happen, man. Is it? Fuck. Thank God. Thank whoever it is that this won't happen. Anyway, man, it's been a total pleasure, and that is 5-3. And I said that about 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
I've entertained you, mate.
You know,
I want to do this again soon. Probably the morning. Will you be available tomorrow night?
As I say, I will. I I'll definitely jump on if you're wanting us to. And
I'll not be too late,
as I say,
but
I've been
I'll not
wanting
be
to.
this time. I'll be earlier because I've got work on Monday. Yeah, so I'll be a wee bit earlier than this. I'll maybe be
Well,
10
I'm the same, obviously. You know, so it can't be like stupidly late. But if you're about at some point tomorrow
I'm
evening,
a
sort of,
5 hour sleeper, mate. 5 hours, that's me. People are like, how the fuck? I'm like, I sleep 5 hours every night, sometimes 4. It's fucking weird, man.
well, I shouldn't. You know, I shouldn't, but I tend to be a bit of a dick with that. And, you know, I should be in my bed earlier, but end up sitting up till like 12 and 1.
I'm saying it's my bedtime is 10 o'clock. I'm like, fucking hell, I'm up for another 5 hours or something. I didn't go to my bed till 2, 3 in the mornings most nights, even when I'm working. It's just a habit of.
I date sometimes, no all the time. But as I was saying, I sit up later than I should, and then there's other nights where I sit up way later than I should.
Aye.
And I fucking, I regret it the next day when you've only had 2 hours. It's no fun. You know?
No. I remember there was a weekend. I think it was just that weekend there. I had 8 hours sleep over the whole weekend. Like fucking 8 hours sleep. Like no, I think it was for the Saturday and the Sunday. Over the Saturday and the Sunday, I worked out like 8 hours. I had 5 hours one night and 3 hours the other night. So it was like 8 hours sleep. I had over like Saturday and Sunday. So that's the kind of way, that's how I operate. I wonder how I would operate if I was actually having decent sleep. I'd probably be like a big fucking tank and fucking thinking.
Well, but see, you might be slightly, you know, helping yourself out a wee bit by having a few beers before you go to bed. I don't do that, so
Maybe
you know that's the other side to it. Is I'll hit the pit at some stupid time in the morning, and then I'll be sitting staring at the ceiling trying to get to sleep. You know what I mean?
Aye. Well, my missus is 10.
You're probably just out a little late.
She's 10, 11 o'clock at night. So when she goes to bed, I'm up for another like 4 or 5 hours. But she sometimes gets up with the kids, whilst I'm still awake. And she's slept for 4 hours and wakes up with the bairn to feed her. And I'm still up. And it's like, it's crazy, man. Crazy. But like I said, I'm still going to be
if you're having any trouble understanding the Scottish accent, mate, just pretend you're in Dels. So if you're looking for subtitles, just think, fuck, cunt, piss, shit.
I actually toned down my accent for the Hangouts. I try and tone it down a wee bit so people can understand me. A lot of people say...
Well, I don't know what I'm doing right, but I seen a comment earlier on saying that you sound more Scottish when you're talking to me.
Because I feel more relaxed, Alan. I feel more relaxed. I feel like I didn't have to put on the proper words to make you understand. You know what I'm saying.
I found out the day that somebody in my work got shown some of my videos, and they were commenting on the way that I spoke through it, and I'm like, you do understand that other people need to understand what I'm talking about. I can't just go just talk normally and expect everybody to know what's going on.
Called a snob. Oh, you snob.
Aye.
You intellectual snob.
Aye. Yeah.
Anyway, apart. It's been a good night, mate, and what you've shown me has been brilliant. Not mind-blowing, because it's what I expect, to be honest with you, but if anyone new coming in this and thinks that you can keep zooming and boats will reappear, that's bullshit, guys. Boats sink and sink. They go further behind the curve, they get obstructed. It's so obvious. Alan's proved that he went to the first location, he took a photo of the boat close, and then watched it as it disappeared over the horizon. Then he went to a higher elevation, and the second point, watched it reappeared, then watched it again disappear. If we went to a higher location, it would have fucking kept happening. It's like fucking. It's like, what can we do to fucking show this, mate?
I'll need to boost my capabilities and get a drone as well, just to do that third job.
Well, we need, like I said, Alan, I can feel us getting together and collaborating, and maybe then getting like a experiment observation together, and it'd be cool. It'd be cool for like this movement as well. I mean, that people are actually cooperating.
I think that it would be good to do it anyway, mate. I'd like to meet you, and I'd like to talk about some of the other stuff. And the other thing is that's what I've been thinking with these observations I've thought of anyway, is having like multiple observers taking shots from each side and all that. That's the way to go. You know, that really doubles up and proves the point. You know, if you've got two people at the same elevation at either side of a body of water, and neither one can see the other, what's your fucking excuse then?
What's crazy, Alan?
Is that now the magical swells are working away at the exact midpoint between the two observers and bringing the electrolysis through the. Do you know what I mean? Like, what the fuck's your excuse going to be?
But what's crazy, Alan? Like you see all these flat Earth meetups, and in a way, in the back of your mind, you're kind of envious that these people can get together, and you think to yourself, see if people like us got together, we're even rarer. We're even like a smaller fucking kid. Like it's like it is. It's like
well, no, really, mate, because we're normal.
No, but normal people didn't look at this, Alan. Normal people didn't look at this shit. We're no normal because normal people are watching the football or watching fucking a movie on a Saturday night. We're sitting talking about this shit. We're no normal. we're actually in a smaller group. We're in a smaller minority because the flat earthers have got more. Ken, they've got more people arguing against people like us, and the people that believe in the globe aren't they looking at fucking YouTube. Yeah, we didn't get any credibility for the people that already believe it. Because they're like, you're just telling
that's
us
true.
we already know. And all we're really.
But in some respects, that's obviously a good thing because, you know, you don't want too much attention on it, really, as well. You know,
but it can be lonely, mate. It can be lonely being in this position where you're not flat earther, right? You're not flat earther, but you're.
No, you're getting too romantic.
The normal people sitting there watching fucking EastEnders on a Saturday night or whatever, you're still involved in it. And it's this position where you're not in a group and you're not getting accepted and. Oh, I don't care, man. It feels like we should have a meeting. Mate, but we should meet. You know what I mean?
I wouldn't want to go too far with it. As I say, you know, I meet an individual, you know, like yourself or whatever. But what I mean is like people getting together in a group for that. I think that's going a wee bit too culty on the other side. And as I says to Chris the other day, you know, that's the picture they like to paint, that there's flat earthers and globe heads, and that's just no fucking true. There's just people, and a small group of them think it's flat. You know what I mean? It's a slightly different situation.
Well, that was another thing.
If you start doing things like that, you know.
They always say tonight that I keep hearing things about leaders. I keep hearing, this is not a presidential race. Why do I keep hearing things about leader? I'm thinking to myself, who's ever declared himself a leader in flat Earth? By him saying, stop declaring me as a leader, he's actually implying he is a fucking leader. You know what I mean? It's like, because I've never heard anyone saying there's a leader in flat Earth. But he keeps trying to...
The thing about it is, it's the way he presents himself. Isn't it? You know, he sits there and says, I'm the one. Listen to me. Don't listen to them. They're talking. I know the games. Listen, you know, it's always like me. You know what I mean? So what else do you expect?
Yeah, the walk.
Yeah, you know, it's like, this is another contradiction as far as I'm concerned. You know, the entire approach, as I say, is it's total propaganda. And to sit there and say, right, well, everybody follow me, and then say, well, why you call me a leader? That's just fucking nonsense, you know.
Well, they said he was at Celtic Park for 4 hours, and he only got an hour video. I'd love to see, and he leaves this alien thing like a bait, like it's almost like bait. It's like a trap, and it's like a mouse trap. He's leaving the cheese, and he's waiting for the mice to come up, and as soon as they go over to the cheese, he fucking goes in for the kill, and it's like, do you trust government? And the thing is, do you know what? 99% of people that you ask that don't trust government, but it doesn't mean they believe in the fucking flat Earth. Do you know what I mean?
This is. Remember, we're talking about the contradictions. That's the other one. You know, the entire line of argumentation, if you want to call it that, is A, completely fucking sophist, and B, full of contradictions because it's full of fallacies. And this is somebody who keeps trying to say, oh, we use the Socratic method, and we use the trivium and all this kind of shit, and try to say everybody else is using fallacious reasoning. But in fact, every single part of that so-called argument is, well, it's 90% straw man. You know what I mean? It's just like a total fallacy.
Spot on, man. Spot on. Anyway, that's enough of that.
Every bit is a contradiction. Anyway, you're right. Shush.
Right, anyway, man, I'm going to end the broadcast here, but like I say again, to anybody watching, Alan, he's got a channel called Al K. Is it because you're an alcoholic? Is that why you're called Al K?
That's what everybody says, mate.
No, it's because you're called Alan K.
Aye.
Or Alan
kicks simple stuff.
Alan kicks flat earth ass. Alan K.
Maybe after a couple of months worth of doing this shit, it'll be enough to say that.
No, well, I think we're stacking up, mate. We're stacking. We should bring it all to see. after you bring maybe 10 video, both of us maybe bringing 10 video, we'll just cram it all together in a nice concise fucking package, and then push it out there. And if they can't listen to that, it's just a fucking cult, mate. You know what I mean?
And as I say, you know, the more observations, the better, because, you know, like you were talking about earlier, you've got Soundly and stuff like that, but you can't just have that. And a lot of people in the flat earth side, they like to try and make it like, oh, Pontchartrain's the only place on the earth and all that shit, because they don't understand, you know, the curve obviously is everywhere, but it's the structure that's unique to Pontchartrain. But if you do observations like this and show the same effect, you know, the ones down at Blackpool with the turbines, then this with the boat today, and then the other one that we've got planned with the land disappearing and stuff like that, if you like to put it that way. You know, you're showing the same effect everywhere, but like on a completely different part of the world, you're getting the exact same thing, you know. So the more of that stuff you get, the less and less you can come out with, you know, these crappy arguments like, oh, it's only in one place we see these things. You know what I mean? You're
when I first came into the flat earth, to be honest, I never seen all these videos that like Pontchartrain and this. All you seen was videos saying that it got smaller, or it was always like to support flat earth. There wasn't that many videos to say that there was shit going on over the curve. You'd see maybe an animation, kind of like that boats go over the curve. You're like, see boats, but you never really see much videos showing you like really a boat going over the fucking curve. I mean, there wasn't that many kicking around, to be honest with you. But yours is just another one to add to the many that's now coming in. So it's good. It's good. We're in a position right now where it's still new, it's still fresh, and the evidence to support the globe is new, because nobody thought they would go out to try and prove the globe, because everyone believed it. There's no evidence to prove the globe on YouTube because everyone just believed it anyway. So why the fuck should there be evidence to prove it? So all this stuff that's going on is new. Weirdly enough, it's fucking new. It's no.
It's pretty bizarre when you think about it, you know, because it's obviously already been done, you know, ages ago. It's no necessary, really. But I guess the good thing about it is that
elaborate videos about what's going over the curve, because it's meant to be common knowledge. So people aren't going, look, there's a boat going over the curve. People are like, we know that's what fucking happens on a ball earth. And so there's not a lot of those videos on YouTube because it's meant to be just common knowledge. So when you do get wrapped up in this flat earth shit, you're like, well, I want to see a boat going over the horizon. It's hard to find. You're like, where the fuck where are these images of boats going over the horizon? And the ones that you do see, it's no P900s, old, grainy, shitty, so they can start manipulating. You can say, oh, that's the haze, or that's this. But now you've got the P900 and you're showing stuff like this and Soundly, and it's now stacking up. Like I said, coffins, nails, fucking, that's what it sounds like to me, mate.
That's it, and it just goes to show you how selective they are with their observations. Yeah. But to the general point, good to get all this stuff out here, I suppose, because then if there is these, you know, this wee unfortunate group that we were talking about, that'll be affected by these people, we'll know the stuff that would have been missing before will be there because we've been doing it, hopefully.
And see how we get accused of being some kind of group, some kind of government agency. Well, you know, we aren't. But you're going to actually create some kind of like group. Like they're going to create this group by accusing us. They're going to bring us together. People are going to come together, and I think eventually, naturally, like a group will form. Like they're accusing us of being a group, which we aren't. But because of the accusations and us cooperating, we're going to end up forming into a group, kind of like a kind of group that counteracts their information. So we might appear to be like a counteractive group, but they've created that. Do you know what I mean? It's weird. Like a.
Well, you know, as far as I'm concerned, you know, that just goes to show you how ridiculous their thinking is, and to say all this government agency shit and all that's just stupid, especially when you're dealing with people like us.
Oh, by the way, we're paedophiles and we're under government fucking observations. We control flat Earth because we're paedophiles. That's how we get off our jail sentence. You know what I mean? Is this what he's fucking saying? It's fucking pathetic. It's pathetic.
The fact that anybody could listen to something like that and think for 1 minute it's even
fucking disgusting.
Remotely true. It's fucking disgusting. And it's just there's something really wrong with you in the brain to think shit like that.
Definitely.
Because even if the person saying it doesn't really believe it, everybody else is chanting away and agreeing with it. You know what I mean?
It's dangerous. Kind of people think you're a fucking some kind of paedophile or something. Like they would feel justified in going up to you and smashing you a brick because they feel like, well, that was
exactly.
a bad fucking evil.
There's some shit you
anyway.
just don't say. You know.
It
reminds a perfect example of that in a way. I think is see when it all came out about Jimmy Savile and all that, but obviously it was Deed. You know. I don't know if you ever seen it or if you were ever up that way, but in Glencoe there's a wee cottage, and that was Jimmy Savile's.
There was protests outside the place. There was protests.
Well, that's the thing, right? People went up and there was graffiti all over it, pedo and all this kind of stuff. He was fucking Deed. What the fuck is the point of the face in a building? Fuck. You know what I mean? So that shows you the mentality of people, though. Mob mentality, that they're willing to deface an empty building for a guy that's not even fucking alive anymore.
But the one that got crazy. Loch Ness and maybe deface Alistair Crowley's fucking ex-house, or whatever it is. Call him a beast or whatever it is.
Well, you know, it's a dangerous thing to court that kind of thinking. Do you know what I mean? You shouldn't go around. There's certain things you shouldn't say about people, and even people that you don't, you know, like. So there's some people that I think are particularly, you know, they're just pieces of shit, but they're no pedos. I would never fucking call them one.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And you'd have to have a good chunky evidence to support you calling somebody a pedo. Like even see in my area where I live in Edinburgh, like if you state somebody's a pedo or a beast, they'll get their windows smashed to fuck. But if you're wrong, if you're just spreading lies, expect the same. Expect the same punishment. Like if you're just going around spreading lies about somebody, that's one of the worst things you can call somebody. But if you are that, it's one of the worst things you can be in my fucking area. Okay, I mean, because you'll just get fucking chased out and you're flat burned. I mean, because I stay in quite a rough part of West, like Edinburgh, like West. I stay in West Wales. I stay in West, and it's known in Edinburgh. Right. It's been one of the fucking roughest parts. So like I couldn't even live here if I was a paedophile, mate, because I'd be chased out. You know what I mean?
I don't think there's many places you could, but you know, I'm the same. I'm not the place I'm in. It's not a well-to-do place.
You know, like you couldn't survive being a paedophile in this kind of area, this environment. I mean, it's like dog-eat-dog environment.
It's not the kind of place, as you say. It's not the kind of place where they'd go, well, let's speak to the law and. You know what I mean?
There's a lot of unwritten rule, there's a lot of unwritten stuff, that you have to go by, like the law of the fucking streets. You know what I mean? That isn't written in the fucking law books.
Aye, exactly.
So, anyway, mate, like I said, I just revealed where I live in Edinburgh. So if anybody comes in and says, you know where you live,
the big mystery for Sherlock, you know,
you fucking retards. And like I said, if you appear outside my door, bat, teeth, smash. Simple as that. Go fucking ambulance. Right, anyway, mate.
I was thinking. Aye, so I was just going to say, threats to me are interesting because one, the fact that you're willing to take something that's happening online to offline, there's something wrong with you anyway, as far as I'm concerned. And then the other thing about it is where does the presumption come in that it would be okay to do that? And I don't just mean to do it in the first place. I mean that there would be no consequences to doing that.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So, like, say somebody did come to your door and just say they smashed your teeth in. You're not just going to go, oh well, I'm never going to do anything about that. You're going to come back, and if you get mates, they'll go. You know what I mean? They'll get involved or whatever. They don't know. You know, you don't know who a person is online, so you don't know what they're capable of. You don't know who they know and what they're capable of. I mean, there's all kinds of crazy shit that could stem from that, and you know, all kinds of consequences. And these people don't seem to think that shit through. You know what I mean?
But it's like sometimes I think you give a different impression. It's amazing, but it's amazing what the impression you give to other people watching you. Like I've been called a fucking agent, a fucking Jew, all these things I've been accused of. And a snob, Antonio Superats called me rich. He was going to sue me. I was like, I fucking live in a council flat in fucking Western Hills. You know what I mean? It's like you wonder what these people see you as. It's fucking crazy. And Dale can create this picture in other people's minds. This fucking agent sitting plotting to fuck their kids' minds up and stuff, and they would feel justified in coming up to your fucking and stabbing you because they feel you're trying to deceive their kids and lie to their kids and fuck up mankind. You know what I mean?
Aye, but it's crazy. As I say, it's total manipulation, and it's scary the way people are so easily led.
Right, mate. I'm going to edit this because I think I'm ruining the presentation with my bitching. With my bitching because Dale's going to fucking bust a blood vessel when he hears the end. Anyway, mate, it was a pleasure again, and I hope to speak to you soon.
Aye, great to be on again. Thanks a lot.
Nice one, mate.
And you know what, maybe give a wee shout anyway about doing this stuff through in Edinburgh or that anyway.
Aye, definitely. I'm willing to meet up with you, mate. I'm willing to meet up, definitely. You seem a nice guy. Genuine. Awesome. So
I'll let everybody know what your posh flat's like and all that.
I'm a posh fucking 2-bedroom council flat. God's sake.
2-bedroom?
I've got a box room as well. I can maybe turn into a fucking bedroom.
I know you're just fucking showing off.
Nice one, mate. Nice one. Right. I'll end it now.
Aye. I'll catch you later.
Take care. See you later.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers, mate.